It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend 1938.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit, not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another IdahoSports.com broadcast brought to you by P1FCU. I am in the booth tonight here. We're coming to you live from Moscow, Idaho, home of the Moscow Bears, as they are prepared to take on the visiting Kellogg Wildcats. I'm Garrison Hardy. Joining me into booth tonight is the coach, Jason Hansen. Jason, it's been a year coming, as we say every year, but it's good to be back in the booth with you to watch some high school football.
Without a doubt. And these two teams are going to be excited about getting out there to shake off some rust and show who they are this year.
That's right. You know, and we've got an interesting matchup tonight. We've got the Moscow Bears, a 4A school, and then the Kellogg Wildcats, a 3A school. So we don't always get to see this kind of a matchup. That always brings some interesting football to the table.
Without a doubt. Moscow being the bigger brother of the two, and then Kellogg actually coming down this year to the 2A ranks from 3A. Easy to mix up because there's a little bit of change going on. And so not only do you have that storyline going, but you also have Coach Bafis coming to the sideline from retirement, air quotes there, and leading the Bears out on the field tonight.
And so we've got both sets of captains at midfield getting ready for the coin toss here. And the refs, I'm sure, just refreshing them on the rules and whatnot as, hey, this is kind of the first game for everybody this year.
That's right. They did have a JV game right before, but I think the Butterflies have got a lot bigger now.
Oh, that's right. And folks, just FYI tonight, it's Military Appreciation Night here in Moscow, and that's why we have, as Jason have had before we started, the Moscow Fire Department's got a gigantic flag hanging over their far end zone here to the right side of your screen. Really cool shot, Jason. So great camera work there.
Thanks. I'm ready for ESPN, and that's also why the Moscow Bears are wearing a kind of a camouflage color. I'm not sure we pick it up on our cameras, but they're wearing some camo unis, and so it's going to be an exciting night with a big crowd here tonight.
That's right. So, Jason, let's kind of give a brief breakdown here of the two teams. So, on the one side, let's start with the visiting Kellogg Wildcats. We haven't covered Kellogg, I believe, in our time together in the booth. So, what's with Kellogg? What should the fans at home be thinking about?
Well, they should be super excited. Not only were they a playoff team last year at 3A, but they're moving down to 2A, and they beat up on all the teams that they are supposed to play this year by a total of about 140 something to about 40. So it's really one of those where they were able to dominate those. They were all non-league this year, or last year rather, going to be league this year. And so they bring in some playoff experience, and they're hoping to flex some muscle, but everything's going to go between the Luna boys. Quarterback Ripley Luna threw for just under 3,000 yards and had 37 touchdowns, and half of that was all to his twin brother.
And then on the hometown Moscow Bears, they started out strong last year, going 3-1 in the first 4 games, lost their last 4. So they've obviously coming into this season hungry, coming out of their hibernation.
Without a doubt. And the new staff, I talked a little bit to Coach Bafus, and he said that it's going to have to be done in the trenches, and that's what a head coach is going to want to do, a little bit of ball control and get some confidence and hopefully take it to the little brother Kellogg Wildcats.
Well, that's right. The Kellogg Wildcats are going to be kicking off. They're going to be in your purple and gold, and not to be confused with those annoying Washington Huskies. We won't talk about them. And then on the other side, the Moscow Bears, they're going to be in that white with that kind of gray camo and the red helmets.
Awesome looks by both teams. It's going to be fun. Man, those the hamburgers from down below, the military appreciation hamburgers are killing me.
Already distracting you. Great.
Good thing I got the camera shot early.
That's right. That's right. So number 15, Colby Luna, the senior wide receiver and defensive back, will be starting proceedings tonight for the opening kick here in District 2. Jason, let's have a good season, shall we?
It's going to be fun.
Back deep to receive for the Bears. Can't make out from here just yet. But the kick is away, and that is taken inside the 5-yard line. And here come the Bears. They're out past the 20, and he's tripped up and brought down at the 21-yard line. The tackle made for Kellogg was number 22, Dayton Bauer, a senior running back and linebacker.
Yeah, nice kickoff. Great cover team right there. Wasn't able to set up much as far as blocking, and it's going to be a nice, quick look at that Moscow offense.
And that was Cody Wilson, the junior wide receiver, on the return for the Bears as they come out to start their opening drive with some solid field position at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. And the Bears will come out with 2 wide receivers, one on either side of the formation. I formation set. Quarterback under center. Defense shows blitz from the sides. 3 down linemen, 2 outside linebackers. They hand it off right up the middle. And the running back is able to pick up a handful of yards for the opening play.
Yeah, I think right here you just want to get a little momentum. Obviously, you want to get some points at the end of this drive, but you got to get some groove going as far as a new staff, new offense, new everything, new season, and you know that Kellogg is going to be stacked in that defensive line.
And that was Toby Fry on the carry, pickup of about 3 or 4 from the looks of it now, 2nd and 6. Another I formation set here. We're probably going to see a lot of that tonight from the Bears. 1 tight end in the set on the left side of the formation, near side of your screen. And they take the snap. That's to the fullback this time, right up the middle, who powers his way forward, but he's brought down pretty quickly. Good tackle there by number 11, Varick Meredith.
Yeah, getting positive yards. It's not very fancy, but if you get a little bit of 3 yards and a cloud of dust going, that's exactly what Coach Bafus is going to want. I was just going to notice that the starting quarterback for Kellogg is also the safety. You don't see that much in 11-man football where you put your quarterback out there as a defensive player, but he looks like a pretty big dude and ready to lay some lumber if it comes to that.
And you know, one thing I've always noticed about quarterbacks who are playing a defensive position, that they are the quarterback of the defense as well, able to command that side of the ball. So we'll see here. Moscow Bears this time come out in the pistol. 4 receivers in the set. Trips to the far side. Taylor with the snap, steps back. He's going to step up into the pocket, being pressured from behind, lofts it over the top, and it's broken up. Good coverage there from the Wildcats. That was number 2, Ripley Luna.
Yeah, nice job with the defense. Probably wishing they had gotten their hands on it for an interception. Kind of a little bit of a light toss there by the Moscow quarterback. Definitely one of those where I think he could have probably picked it up with his feet, wanting to get the ball to your big playmaker's hands, but I think maybe he could have powered to a first down just on his own right there, but he was wanting to be a team guy.
Back deep to punt for the Bears is Caden Teagan. And it's a high snap. What a catch, and he gets it away. He just had to try to fire that off, and the Wildcats pick it up. And if the Wildcats had been more aware of where that ball was going, that could have been a big return there. The Bears get a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, it just popped up. Like you said, took a lot of athleticism just to get it just punted, but then it didn't go very far. Ends up in the quarterback's hands, playing a little bit of everything. Kind of the cover guy there, Ripley Luna, picks it up. Gets a couple yards, but definitely one of those where they could have got a little bit of more out of it if they were ready.
So not bad field position here for the Wildcats, as we're going to be looking at 1st and 10. Ball inside the 30 of Moscow. And we're coming out in a shotgun set here. 4 wide receivers in the set. The back in the backfield next to the quarterback. That's number 2, Ripley Luna. That's Dayton Bauer, the senior running back, who's behind the quarterback. Luna Back to pass. Fires a quick one out to the near side. That's caught by number 11, Varick Meredith, who's still dragging defenders, and he's finally brought down after a short pickup.
Yeah, Kellogg comes out there with everybody spread out, turns it into a man-on-man situation with that defense, and they're just hoping to break something and go the distance.
And that was a solid pickup there, about 8 yards. 2nd and 2 coming up here for the Wildcats. Bit of a pistol look here. 3 receivers in the set, 1 tight end on the far side. Luna, he's gunning it to the end zone, and it's just out of reach. He was looking to hit his brother there, Colby Luna, in the corner of the end zone, but not meant to be.
Yeah, Moscow's going to have to dial up a little more pressure on there. That defense isn't really getting past that offensive line very well. So Ripley Luna, that is, just kind of standing back there looking at the whole field, just having a snack, watching the field, feeling really comfortable. You're going to have to do something to get him a little rattled.
3rd and 2. And a big potential stop here for the Bears. 4-down territory at this point, unless the Wildcats will kick it. And there is a flag right there. False start. So that's going to give the Bears defense some breathing room here. We're going to be looking at 4th and 7.
Well, and that's
3rd and 7.
And that's the kind of stuff Moscow's going to need here. Just like you said, they kind of had some momentum going. They had short yardage, what they wanted, and hopefully they can build on this if you're a Moscow fan.
Moscow's defense comes out with 3 down linemen. A bit of a 3-4 defensive look here. Luna back to pass, looking, steps up into the pocket. He's rolling to the right side. He's being pressured big time, and he just tries to lower the shoulder and get what he can at this point. We'll see where they spot this.
I think he got the first down, Garrison.
Excellent run from Luna. We got kind of a tight press box up here, so we can't always see the corner, but
cozy. It's nice and cozy.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody's kind of standing in their lane right now, so it's all working out. But definitely a nice job there by Ripley Luna, showing the fact that he's a senior upperclassman, was in the playoffs last year, hoping to be playoffs this year.
4 receivers in the set, 1 back in the backfield. Luna in the gun. Luna takes the snap, steps back, looks to the far side, a quick out route, and that's caught by number 84. That is Jace Garcia, who bounces his way into the end zone. And just kidding, the ref
just
tricked me. Just shy. Looks like that's the 1-yard line. But nonetheless, excellent play for the Wildcats. Good throw and catch there from Luna to Garcia.
Well, and they kind of hit you there with a little bit of a, instead of going so slow and then getting lined up and all of that, this time they, instead of being methodical, they were really quick on the pass, and it was out there and on the receiver, and the defensive backs didn't really look ready.
1st and goal, ball on the 1. Luna back to pass. Once again, a quick pass, and it's a touchdown to his brother. That's number 15, Colby Luna. Luna to Luna.
It looked a little bit of backyard football there where I wasn't quite sure what was going on, and just kind of that you post up and I'll just throw it up high and you get it from him.
So that is the first points of the night. Go to the Kellogg Wildcats, 6-0, and they're, of course, going for 2 here. 4 receivers in the set, 2 bunch sets on either side, and then a running back in the backfield. Moscow's defenders are kind of spread the length of the field. Blitz from the side. Luna running for his life. Finds his brother once again for the 2-point conversion. That's 8-0 in favor of the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's tough. The fact that they were kind of caught off a little bit off guard by the big play to get him to the goal line. This time they post him up. For the touchdown, they posted him up. The other time on the extra point, he ran across the formation from the left bunch you were talking about all the way to the right bunch. That looks like a couple of guys talking about it on the bus ride down here. Moscow's going to have to relax, get calmed down. Definitely one of those where you've got to get some points now to match all of this other stuff simply because of the fact that they weren't able to do much on their first possession.
That's right, and obviously 2 very different play styles here when we were talking about both the team's offense. On the one side with the Wildcats of Kellogg, they're very run and gun. They've got the shotgun set the entire time, but then for the Bears, the I formation look. Interesting matchup.
And it won't be long before those running backs, I think maybe Jaden Bauer is the running back there, whispering, hey, I think the run might be open.
That's right. That's right. Game of chess, folks. So once again, number 15, Colby Luna, out to kick off here for the Wildcats with their 8-0 lead after their first successful drive. Great field position that set that up. And then back deep to receive for the Bears. That is number 83, Cody Wilson, the junior wide receiver. That flag, the American flag waving in the background there off of that Moscow Fire Department's ladder. Epic shot, Moscow Mountains in the background. Beautiful night here in Moscow, Idaho. And Luna, with the run-up, sends this deep down the field. It's going to be taken by Wilson inside the 5. Wilson at the 10, 15, nearly tripped up, stays on his feet, bounces off another tackler, and he's finally spun forward past the 20. Good return there from Cody Wilson.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like an individual effort. There were just waves of purple coming at him, and he was able to pick through those defenders. But that's a nice job by the cover team, getting them corralled pretty quick and down.
So the Moscow Bears will once again set up shop inside their own 25. Similar field position to last time, where they really weren't able to get much going off of a solid defensive stand from the Wildcats. Jason, what are you looking for here from the Bears?
I think just calming everybody down, pounding the rock. Coach Bafus is going to want to set a good tone in this series as well. Definitely got to get that first down to just keep the ball away from the Luna boys.
And even the pacing, you notice, is different. Yeah. Moscow loves to huddle up and take their time. That's just fine. As a former player, I really enjoyed that because I could catch my breath.
That's right. It is 80 degrees here, so.
That's right. Pistol set here for the Bears. Motion from the far side of your screen. 3 on the near side of the field for the Bears of wide receivers. Dylan Taylor in the pistol. Takes the snap. Taylor looking, flag thrown. He's going to run to the near side, has to tuck it and fall forward for as much as he can get. Another great play there from the Wildcats defense. They were swarming him.
Yeah, we just talked about how much time Luna had when he was the quarterback. This time, Taylor didn't have much time at all. It was pretty much the ball was there and the defense was on him. And there was a penalty. It looks like the White Hats heading over to talk to the Kellogg coach, Davidian, and just say, hey, what do you want here? And it looks like it's a decline penalty because it was a illegal motion. So now it's going to be second and really long.
2nd and 15 to be precise. And Moscow's going backwards here. Not the kind of momentum they wanted to generate. Coming on from the sidelines here for the Bears is number 83, Cody Wilson. We've talked about him on the kick return. So he brings in the play from the sideline. And on the defensive side here, the Wildcats have their 3 down linemen, so they also have a 3-4 base defense. And they're playing man-to-man on the far side as trips on the far side with receivers. 1 back in the backfield, motion from the far side. That looks like it's number 22 for Moscow, Caden Teagan. Taylor takes a snap, pitches it to the right side. And number 29, Connor Isaacson, the sophomore, was not able to get much there as he falls forward for maybe a yard.
No, but I'd like the play call. They're trying to explore the outside with some sweep action. The problem was the receivers didn't really block as long as I think Coach was hoping, and then all of a sudden the defense was able to funnel over. Now it puts you in a position where you were probably hoping you could run the ball, but now you're in 3rd and long. You're probably going to have to throw something, but that could be a screen here simply to keep the defense off a little bit, and you wouldn't have to wing it down and hope those defensive backs don't steal one.
So we're looking at about 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. Trips to the near side. We got 5 receivers in this set here, spreading the field wide. Taylor surveying his options. Takes the snap. Drops back, 3-step drop. He's rolling to his left, steps up into the pocket, being pursued by Wildcats. Looking downfield, gets rid of it, but it's not going to be near enough. It was a catch, it looks like. That was caught by number 5, Michael Kiblin, but a gain of about 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's a hard gain, maybe 6 but it's definitely one of those where Taylor showed a lot of presence there, shaking off the defenders and trying to get the ball to one of his playmakers to pick something up. Unfortunately for him and the Moscow Bears, it just fell a little bit short there. Now we're in one of those hairy punt situations again. We just saw one that almost got blocked.
That's right. And here's this one. Looks like it was a better setup, better snap rather. It goes over the heads of the Wildcats returners. And he just takes a knee. It looks like he slipped up a little bit there. So a much better punt situation for the Bears. And the Wildcats will be taken over at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and it showed definitely that the Moscow punter was a decent punter. We saw him kind of run for his life before. This time he was able to set up a little bit more and use a bounce and a roll, and pretty soon you got some good field position for that Moscow defense.
So 1st and 10 coming up for the Wildcats. And they're going to, again, be at the 27-yard line. They come out in that shotgun set. Quarterback number 15, Kobe Luna, takes the snap and fires it to Kobe Luna, rather. That was his brother, Ripley Luna. There's Lunas all over the place,
yeah.
Jason. I'm struggling.
He's quick. I'm not sure he's that fast. But, again, the Moscow defense wasn't able to really get past the offensive line. They were able to set up and kind of give him that cushion. Of course, it was a quick pass, but it was definitely one of those where I think we're going to have to see some blitzing here.
Yeah, Kobe Luna is already approaching 5 or 6 catches. He's already got a touchdown to his name. It's been a busy first quarter. Motion from the far side. Luna takes a snap, fires it quickly to the near side of the field. It's caught by number 11, who takes it inside, and he's brought down by a host of Bears. That was Varric Meredith on the reception, and then good containment there from Moscow.
Yeah, and they did a nice job of rallying up in waves. Quick response, and they got him down quick. So definitely one of those where that was a great play call by Kellogg, but Moscow Bears definitely rallied.
So it's 2nd and 8 after that 2-yard pickup from Meredith. Luna in the gun, 3 receivers to work with this time around. Dayton Bauer behind him at running back. Bauer goes out to the left side. This one's caught by Garcia, who's got the first down and more, and he's out past midfield. Going to be pushed out at about the 47-yard line.
When I think that's where Kellogg is now offensively. We're going to start seeing a couple of those other names starting to flash a little bit, where we just saw Meredith a moment ago, and then we see Garcia here, and it's just one of those where now you've been Luna. Now you're going to see everybody else open up a little bit more, and that running back just keeps whispering, how about me? Give me the ball.
He knew what he was signing up for.
First and 10. Block.
First and 10, ball on the 47. Luna back to pass once again. He fires it deep over the top, going for his brother, and it's way over the top. But, hey, how about that arm strength from Luna? Too much, obviously. But
yeah, and Kellogg fans are going, wait a minute now. I know he was bracketed, but it looked like they stopped him. But Moscow's saying, no, that's great defense.
That's right. Uncatchable, they would argue.
That's right.
So 2nd and 10 now after that deep throw, testing it over the top to number 15, Colby Luna, the intended receiver. You think Moscow's probably going to start covering Colby pretty tightly?
I think the coaches will tell you they've been trying the whole time.
And bit of a pistol look here from the Wildcats. 3 receivers in the set, 1 tight end as well, 1 running back in the backfield. Pressure from the Bears on the left side. Luna fires a quick hook route. This one's caught by Meredith. He's at the 30. And he's brought down as he lunges forward for maybe another yard there inside the 30. And excellent catch and effort there from Varric Meredith.
Yeah, and the Moscow Bears were able to get a little more defensive pressure there, but by getting that nice solid pass way past the line of scrimmage, it kind of neutralized all that pressure.
So fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. Ball is spotted at the 29. And they're slowing it up here. The Bears have 3 down linemen in their base 3-4 defense. Man-to-man on the outside. Luna back to pass. Pressure. He's stepping up into the pocket. Gets away from it, but good containment. And once again, his brother comes to the rescue, Colby Luna. Boy, he works hard to make sure he's available for Luna as he's running for his life.
You're right, Garrison. Just runs right across there, shows his numbers always, just like he's been told. And Ripley, the quarterback, doing a nice job of stopping before he ran out of bounds and was able to complete that pass. How about that offensive line and number 22, Dayton Bauer, providing some protection there, even if it meant that you're running the sidelines and trying to, no hold, no clip, no nothing.
Another first down here for the Wildcats. Luna looking, steps up into the pocket. Good protection there. Now he's dodging another defender. He's going to take it himself inside the 5. Touchdown, Wildcats. Ripley Luna with an excellent quarterback keeper.
Yeah, and Ripley Luna showing that we talked about that moxie there where he was able to see, okay, finally you guarded everybody, and now I'm just going to go ahead and take this one in myself. So excellent job there, given exactly what the defense gave him.
Meanwhile, Dayton Bowers feeling like, what the heck? I could have taken that. So it's going to be another 2-point conversion here. Last time they went the way of Colby Luna to the far side of your screen. Pistol look here once again. Only 2 receivers in the set, split out this time. Moscow's pretty heavily lined up inside. Luna goes in motion across the screen. Luna back to pass, looking, and it looks over the middle, and it's caught this time. That was number 11, Varric Meredith, and the two-point conversion is good. That makes the score 16-0 in favor of the Kellogg Wildcats, not to be confused with your favorite cereal brand.
Yeah, but ever steady. You know, that is pretty much exactly what we thought they would do. They came in here airing the ball out, even when we thought, oh, it should be a run play here. They just stick to who they are. Coach knows his kids, and they're sharing it. I mean, as much as it looks like he's only going to his brother, a lot of times his brother's the one working across the formation or getting deep or posting up. And so it's definitely putting more and more pressure on Moscow now. You've got to match. You have to do something, even if it's a little bit out of your style or what you're hoping to do. You got to match here. We're still in the first quarter here and already down 16-0. You got to get a first down and get a little momentum. And I think Coach Bafis must have a couple things circled on his paper here, thinking, okay, now's the time to spring a couple of them.
That's right. And, Jason, for the fans at home, this is a Kellogg team last year. Like you said, went to the playoffs. They also went 6-3 on the year and put up over 50 points on numerous occasions. So this is a team that's got some firepower to their name, and we're really getting a chance to see it here in person. Yeah,
we don't oftentimes get to see the teams from way up north, and, man, they're just like they were supposed to be on paper.
That's right. So 16-0, as Jason mentioned earlier here, and the Moscow Bears are looking to get things started for their third possession here in the first quarter. And I actually can't see the clock from my vantage point. It's 4.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter for those at home keeping score. And Luna sends this deep down the field. Once again, it's going inside the 5. It goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Moscow's going to start things off here at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that, we've talked about how they had a pretty good little return there last time, and this time they have to go a long way for some points. And talk about diversity there with Colby Luna. Not only you're the receiver of the night, but now you're also the kicker, booting it deep, so that way they have to go 80 yards for points.
And Jason, in high school, that is quite a weapon if you've got a good kicker who can help you control the field.
Yes, it takes away a lot of those return playmakers.
Cody Wilson's not liking the sound of that, the returner for the Bears. And now Moscow comes out in a pistol formation here. 3 receivers to the far side. Number 6, Dylan Taylor in the pistol, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, and he runs into a host of Wildcats, and he's able to pick up 1 or 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it's kind of a math problem. You need 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But I like the idea of just getting that clock going, get out of the first quarter, eat that problem in little tiny bites instead of trying to get one trick play for a touchdown and you're in trouble.
And now as we head towards the 4-minute mark, Moscow is certainly taking their time. And if you are able to control the pace, that's really able to change momentum here. They just haven't been able to stay on the field for more than one set of downs. So once again, pistol set, same exact formation, trips to the far side. Taylor takes the snap, 3-step drop. He's got to step up into the pocket, and he's brought down. A sack off the side from number 84, Jace Garcia.
Yeah, nice job by the receiver / linebacker coming from the edge. Just knew right where he was going to go, and quarterback from Moscow, Dylan Taylor, wasn't able to do much with it. By the time he stepped up, he had him around his legs, and he was down. So pretty quick response there by the defense.
And just like that, Jason, we're looking at 3rd and about 13 here for the Bears. Certainly not what they had in mind when they drew up this drive. Now we head to the 3-minute mark as they get ready to draw up this play. Not a lot in the playbook for 3rd and 13 as the Bears make their way to the line. Wildcats anticipating pass. Safeties are well off the line here, 10 yards back. 2 receivers on each side. Pressure being shown from Meredith of the Wildcats. Wilson goes in motion across the screen. And Wilson will catch it, actually, across the formation, well short of the first down, however. He's only able to pick up 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's darned if you do, darned if you don't. They were able to get some yards on that play, but Kellogg, knowing down and distance, was able to, like you said, send a little pressure, back everybody up, kind of guard that line you're trying to get to, and wasn't able to do much. Here comes that punt formation to see what happens here, whether or not they send a little pressure or is he able to get the ball off.
Caden Teagan back to punt. And this time it's a good snap. He steps up into it and delivers it. A nice spiral into the Moscow night sky. And that's going to, once again, go back inside the 30. And Moscow with some excellent punt coverage. Once again, that was number 22, Caden Teagan, with a solid punt for the Bears.
Well, and I think it's one of those where you just got to start hanging your hats on the little hooks, and that's a nice punt. Maybe defense can respond to it now. They were able to get him corralled real quick, and they weren't able to, juke him and get a big gain anyway. So Moscow's just going to have to, bow up here a little bit. They've had trouble with that quick pass. They've had trouble with the pass over top, so it's kind of pick your poison, I guess.
So 1st and 10 here for the Wildcats. It seems as though Moscow is anticipating a pass or something like that, as they've got all their DBs in man-to-man coverage. Both teams making some substitutions here. Shotgun set for the Wildcats. That is number 2, Ripley Luna. He's thrown for a touchdown. He's also run one himself. Throws it to the near side to Meredith. It's caught. He's pushed back towards the 40. Forward progress will mark him down close to the first down stick, and it looks like they're giving him the first down.
Well, that was a first down, but that was also an excellent defensive play there, just getting him wrapped up, and he wasn't able to shook him off and get more.
Varick Meredith has been heavily involved in the offense thus far with a handful of receptions to his name. On the other side, of course, has been the star of the show, Colby Luna. Plenty of receptions to his name, as well as a touchdown through the air. Trips to the far side. Moscow's showing pressure from the near side. Both outside linebackers go. 5-man rush, and this time they run it. The first run of the night from the Wildcats. Number 22, Dayton Bauer. He's able to pick up a couple.
There it is. Dayton Bauer Found Club. starting to light up the Twitter.
He was on that milk jug for much of the game. By design, folks, by design. Their passing game's been working for him. So Bauer was only able to pick up one there. Good stop there by the Moscow Bears. 2nd and 9. Back to 3 receivers in the set. Luna on the far side. Luna in the gun as well. Luna back to pass. He's being pressured. He's got to step up and fires it over towards his brother, well short of the target. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 9. This could be a big stop right here for the Bears.
I agree, and they were able to get a little pressure. I was just going to highlight Gabe Jenisek and the offensive line from Kellogg, that they've been doing such a great job. And then all of a sudden, one of the defensive players from Moscow, number 62, Logan Grady, was able to get in there and harass Luna a little bit, and it showed with the completion. So if you're a Moscow fan, this is it. You got to get something going.
Is that right? The announcer's curse there. 3rd and 9. 3 receivers in the set. Luna takes the snap, drops back, looking, being pressured, fires it over the top, and it's caught by his brother once again. Colby Luna. Luna to the Luna connection is alive and well as he's brought down at the 32-yard line.
And it takes 3 Bears to get him down, and he was fighting those 3 off at the same time. So, bummer if you're a Moscow fan, simply because of the fact you had him where you wanted him, but Luna to Luna is just a deadly connection.
Deadly indeed as we close in on 1 minute left here in the first quarter. 16-0 in favor of the Wildcats as they move along. Have a big 3rd down conversion. Luna back to pass. Looks to the far side. It's his brother once again. He's open, but he's just not able to catch up with that one. Incomplete. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Moscow kids are over there kind of talking about, well, I thought he was going to do this. I thought you were going to do that. For the Luna receiver to be that wide open, Colby Luna, that's a little rough.
So 2nd and 10 coming up here. Ball is spotted at the 33-yard line. Moscow in their base 3-4. 4 linebackers are in around the box there. And they bring pressure. Luna's able to get to the outside, rolling to his right, looking back across the formation, and he is brought down by essentially the entire Bears defense. That can't always feel good as a quarterback.
No, but it's definitely good if you're the defense. He did get quite a few yards, but it's also one of those where you were able to get him rallied and actually pushed out of bounds this time instead of the last time where he put his foot in the ground and threw it over top of you.
So we've got 35 seconds left as he was shoved out of bounds. The clock is stopped, and now the Wildcats will get their play from the sideline. Moscow gets a chance to catch their breath for another third down play here. 3rd and 7. And here comes the Moscow Bears student section. 3 receivers in the set. Luna back to pass, looking, directing traffic, fires it over the top to his brother once again. It's caught! Touchdown Wildcats! What a play. The Luna connection is alive and well, but it looks like we've got some of the officials talking it over here in the backfield. Illegal player downfield. The touchdown is waved off, and that's going to be a penalty.
And that's the break that Moscow needed as you hear the crowd roar simply because of the fact that that was an incredible play by the Luna boys.
That was Ripley Luna to Colby Luna. That would have been their second touchdown connection of the night. But it looks like a offensive lineman snuck his way downfield a little bit. And that's, not something you can do. So now it's 3rd and long, 5-yard penalty here. It's going to be 3rd and 13 from the looks of it. Hey, why not just throw it up to Luna? Although it looks as though Luna has been subbed off as, he's just been running all over the place. So he probably needs a quick breather. In to replace him is number 4, Jude Elrunson. And Luna fires it to the near side. It's caught by Meredith. He's able to juke past a couple of defenders there, but it's going to bring up 4th and about 10, 4th and 9 at 102.
Well, Coach Bafus' crew's got to be happy about, okay, we got to get this stopped. This is the kind of momentum they need. They are down, but they're not out, so it's definitely one of those where you got to get this stop, get the ball back, and start to do work in the second quarter.
And speak of the devil, the second quarter is upon us now. Folks, we've played 3 to go. Our score here in Moscow, the Kellogg Wildcats 16, the Moscow Bears nothing. We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsors.
Since 1938.
Tons of pens. Yeah, that's just my crap, really. But oops, sorry, buddy. Nothing in this one. Nothing in here.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, man. I'm sure Paul's going to be like, well, can you guys go buy one?
Yeah, right.
It's like, no?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, it's already on battery saver. We've got 17 minutes. And I've got to change the scoreboard here.
Well, let's face it, the writing is on the wall.
It's true. So do you think he just forgot it?
He was grabbing stuff out of others already. Here I go.
Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Moscow, Idaho, as we are in the second quarter now. And the Kellogg Wildcats are once again driving inside the 25-yard line. And the Moscow Bears defense just got to stop.
So you had the quick pass outside, just like we've seen several times before. This time the defense was right there to rally. When he hitched up to catch the ball, he was just shy of the first down, and everybody kind of checking in and checking it out there, and the referee's right on the line, and turnover on downs. That's a big win for Moscow defense.
That is indeed. It's going to be 1st and 10, and they're going to take over And if I can't exactly see from where I'm at, they're going to take over at the 24-yard line here. 1st and 10. And again, a big-time stop. So this time the Bears will line up with trips to the far side of the field. Taylor in the pistol. Pressure being shown from the near side. And then they'll bring 4. Taylor looking, surveying. This is a coverage sack, if anything. He's going to throw it downfield, and it's incomplete. Taylor had to survey the field for a long time and move around in the pocket to try and create space. Just wasn't happening.
Yes, but that offensive line from Moscow doing a little bit better job. Yes, he was having to move around, and it took his eyes off his targets, but they at least kept him upright. He was able to step up, get away from the defenders who were diving for his ankles, and almost a nice gain there by Moscow.
Second and 10 here. Taylor in the pistol. Trips to the far side. And they're going to hand it off up the middle. And able to pick up 1 or 2.
On the carry, 44, Eddie Paul. Gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 7.
What about the computer bag? Have you looked through there?
Where is the computer? Oh.
Is it over on the far side? Unfortunately, the Moscow Bears a little bit of a fumble defense right there to be right on it, and wouldn't you know, all that defense from Moscow gets washed away with a little good defense by Kellogg, and now Kellogg has just worked themselves into some great field position here. A short game with rather, and it's going to be tough for Moscow, but they did respond the last time, so hopefully they can do it again.
Luna back to pass. Fires it over the middle. It's almost caught there. Garcia had to go up and try to sky for that one. Good defense there from the Bears.
Yes, dialing up a little more pressure. That defensive line from Moscow getting a lot more aggressive. And on the back end, the defensive backs were right where they needed to be, and they were able to kind of help knock it down as well. So tough sledding as far as defense is concerned when they're in the red zone. But you got to make sure you get something out of this if you're Moscow, even if you have to force kick.
So it's 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. 3 receivers on the set here. Luna once again has Bauer behind him. Back to pass. He's pressured by off the sides. It's intercepted by the Bears. Inside the 20-yard line. Brought down at the 15. And Moscow once again has life.
Nice job right there. That's a couple of times. Now we got yellow all over the field. I'm not quite sure if it was players talking to players or what was going on there, but it was definitely one of those where the defense rose to the occasion. There's going to be a penalty after the turnover, and it looks like you might get some extra yardage here, but unfortunately for Moscow, it looks like it might be pushing them back. No, offsetting. And so means we're just going to be right where we started. Naughty on both of them. Coaches are going to be a little upset, but Moscow's going to be thinking, okay, at least we got an interception. We got a little life here, and now they got a long ways to go, but it's in the second quarter, and no big deal. Now you're just right back to where you want to be as far as who you are, as far as running that ball, getting some momentum going in that offensive line, getting a big push.
So now 1st and 10 once again for the Bears as they're going to huddle things up here. And boy, that's gotta be a good feeling right there to have a takeaway as Moscow's going to get things set here. Folks, once again, we want to thank one of our power boosters here for Moscow, Shorts Funeral Chapel.
Coach Uhrig. Yes, basketball coach extraordinaire. Coach Uhrig is in there.
Moscow's got an interesting fundraiser here. They're dunk tanking the coaches of all the sports. So right now the basketball coach is on the little shelf and about ready to hit the water.
This is for all those suicides you've made me run, Coach. Splash. And a handoff up the middle here from the Bears. And they're going to bounce it out to the outside, and it looked like he had a little bit of running room there, but Toby Fry on the carry. He was brought down after a pick of about, we'll call it 5.
Yeah, we'll take 5. Again, you're talking about Moscow wanting to be three yards in a cloud of dust. You're ahead of schedule now. You can relax a little bit. Coach Bafis can really kind of start to get some momentum and get his guys with some belief.
2nd and 5 now. I formation here for the Bears. Again, very different play styles, both offenses. 2 receivers in the set. Taylor takes the snap, hands it off once again, this time to Wilson, who's brought down from behind. But it was positive yardage there. It's going to set up 3rd and manageable here.
Yeah, and that's the Bafis way. And I don't mean that disrespectfully at all. That's just that power run look. It may not be flashy on the scoreboard, but especially with a young team, with a change in culture, you want to just kind of build some slow momentum and keep the ball away from that high-power Kellogg offense.
Well, I tell you, Jason, and I'm sure you've seen this too, for the teams that can power run it well, there is nothing more demoralizing to a defense and another team.
That's right, and with the Luna boys playing defense, it makes them come up and tackle at the same time.
So 3rd and 2, we'll call it. Moscow has 1 back in the backfield. Pressure being shown off the sides, and there's a flag, and that's going to be a 1st down. It looks like encroachment on the Wildcats.
Again, that's a hats off to Coach Bafis and his crew. The fact that you were able to go on multiple counts. You didn't just go on one on that important down. You get those free yards, and now all of a sudden it's 1st down. You're a little bit farther away from your goal line. You got a little more confidence. Now Kellogg's the one kind of scratching around going, okay, now what the heck's going on here?
And Jason, I believe that was the Bears' first down on offense for tonight. And, you know, as hard as things have been on offense, they're still in the game. They're only down 16-0 at this point, and all it takes is 1 drive and 1 score. Taylor under center. Motion from the near side, and he's going to pitch it. It's got a reverse here, and the Wildcats were ready for it. What a read and tackle there from Varick Meredith, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, we've been talking Luna. There's Meredith. He's been a receiver. Now he comes up in a big way to kind of curtail some of that Moscow momentum and really sets them back on their heels. You're talking about that power run look. You know, 2nd and 15 is not where power run teams really love to be.
2nd and 15, like you said. After getting the first down of the night, they're pushed back 5 yards. Excellent response from the Wildcats defense. Folks, we have ourselves a beautiful night here in Moscow tonight. There's a slight breeze coming from the left side of your screen here. I formation once again for the Wildcats. Motion out of the backfield. That's Toby Frey in motion. Taylor still under center. He takes the snap. That's a 5-step drop. Now he's rolling to his right side, and he finds, that's number 5 on the catch, Michael Kiblin. And a solid gain there, and that'll make it 3rd and manageable once again.
And that opens back up that playbook. Unfortunately for Moscow, there was a yellow flag in the backfield. It might be holding near the quarterback, trying to prevent the defensive rush from getting there, which really negates all that gain. I was just going to say how much the playbook would be open and this, that, and the other stuff, and now the opposite would be true.
Yep, now you ruined it, Jason. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, there's the jinx, the old announcer jinx. Sorry, Coach Bafis.
And now, my goodness, we're looking at 2nd and a mile right now. The 1st down marker is near the 40-yard line. It's about the 37-yard line, and they're all the way back inside their own 10. So we're looking at 2nd and about 30. Pistol set here for the Bears. Trips to the near side. One back in the backfield. Taylor takes the snap, drops back, looking. He's throwing it to the near side. It's caught by Cody Wilson, who's pushed out of bounds quickly. And that was a positive gain there. That's going to set up third, and we'll see where they spot this.
And once again, Kellogg showing that moxie, that playoff moxie of understanding down and distance. Yeah, we'll give you 4 or 5 yards here, and we'll just push you out of bounds because that's not really what you're hoping for on a play like that. And so nice job giving him that cushion, making him look open. Taylor delivers a nice ball and gets it to his playmaker, but unfortunately for Moscow, he just gets pushed right out of bounds.
And we're looking at 3rd and 25 for the Bears. Not exactly ideal when you're looking at your playbook. Taylor in the pistol. Deep man coverage here from the Wildcats. They know they just have to keep him away from that first down marker. Taylor rolling to his left. He's going to throw it deep downfield across his body. Intercepted. That's picked off by Luna, one of the Luna brothers. And he's going to bring it back inside the 35-yard line. Excellent pick and run there from number 15. You know it, Colby Luna.
You hate to say it, but that's probably about as good as a punt in that situation, considering they might have came after it. There is some laundry on the field. I think there's a penalty. I'm guessing it's going to be blocking the back or something of that nature, which might push Kellogg back a little bit farther.
Well, that's a personal foul, and it is against the Wildcats, so that's going to back it up even further. So, hey, heck of a punt, like you said.
Moscow, of course, would rather have possession of the ball on a first down, but at the same time, we've seen the punt game be a little bit up, a little bit down, so probably have to just take it as it comes. And you've already come out and played some really good defense against what Kellogg's trying to do with that quick pass stuff. Maybe they're able to do something very similar here and do something at midfield instead of near the shadow of their goal line.
So the ball will be spotted exactly at midfield, right near that Moscow Bear paw print at midfield. Now that's where the Wildcats will start this drive. 1st and 10. Ball on the 50. And for the Moscow Bears, they're once again out in that 3-4 defense. In the pistol is number 2, Ripley Luna. He's already thrown for a touchdown. He has thrown an interception on their last drive, and Moscow's hoping for more of the same here. Motion from the far side, that is number 11, Varick Meredith. Back to pass is Luna. He's rolling to his right, looking downfield. He throws it deep over the top, and it's almost caught. The argument could be made of potential pass interference there, but in the end, both players do have a right to the ball, Jason.
They do, and it just kind of hung up there. You hate to say that it hung up there for 50 yards, but it looked like it allowed the defense to rally. Moscow had some chances back here at pursuing the quarterback to maybe get him down or maybe harass him a little bit more, but instead they kind of seemed to get a little bit over their toes and get a little bit too aggressive instead of trying to break down and make a tackle. But what a throw, 50 yards on a dime. His guy had the best chance, it looked like, of catching it.
Now, you know those defenses are going to be taking notice, especially the Wildcats' next opponents. Luna once again throws a hook, but it's over the top, intended for once again his brother Colby Luna.
Well, and this again, if you're a Moscow fan, this is the kind of stuff you need. You had the long, deep incompletes. This one was kind of a quick screen look with an incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 10. I know that Kellogg's a lot more of a quick strike, but if you could force them to punt here, I don't think we've seen a Kellogg punt. And so if you could just get that to happen, that would be a win, and then all of a sudden your offense is on offense again.
And we've got ourselves a timeout here on the field. So the score 16-0 in favor of the Wildcats as we take a break here on this 3rd and 10. And so seeing as we don't exactly have any power boosters, we'd like to take this time to say tonight's game is brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. I added that last part in there. I just know how the rest of that ad goes.
Nice.
So you got to do it. And folks, make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game. So hey, if you're a fan of Kellogg, if you're a fan of Moscow, maybe hold off on Moscow until they're put up a couple scores here. But nonetheless, you could have this game for just $9.95. Just click the button in the top right to order. But that's a pretty cool feature right there on IdahoSports.com.
Well, now's the time to pre-order before the rush.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, I was just going to say, back to the dunk tank for just a second, they're about ready to switch coaches. So if you're hoping to dunk the boys basketball coach, now's the time. And if I was going to get dunked in the dunk tank, I'd want it to be 85 degrees like it is right now.
Hey, that's right. It's kind of stuffy here in the booth tonight.
Not November. That's not the time to want to get dunked in the dunk tank.
That's right. Luna back to pass, 3rd and 10. Looking deep. He's going to take it himself. Cuts back at tackler and gets through. He's into the secondary, and that's going to be a first down for the Wildcats. My goodness, the Lunas are just a dangerous pair of brothers, aren't they?
Yeah, and that shows that whole you got to break down to make a tackle. They had him again. This time he was able to keep his eyes where they needed to be, realized that all his receivers had gone 50 yards downfield and opened up a big cushion in the middle between that rushing D-line and the defensive backs who were on their heels.
So Ripley Luna able to pick up the first down, gain of about 15 to 20 yards there. Kind of tough from this vantage point. Pistol set here for the Wildcats. A quick out route, but maybe some miscommunication there as Luna didn't exactly give his brother time to get his head around to find the ball.
And again, nice job with Moskosin and Caden Teagan there, right there in the face of the quarterback, kind of forcing him to kind of rush a little bit. So now again, you force that incomplete, but that defensive line's just got to keep pursuing. But again, hats off to Kellogg that they've kept Luna pretty clean. I don't think we've seen a sack yet for Luna.
That's right. And it certainly helps when your quarterback has the escapability of Luna. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Luna, another quick pass to Luna out on the far side. Luna with a stiff arm. He's at the 10 and inside the 5 before he's brought down at the 3-yard line. Luna to Luna. Once again, fans at home are probably like, why does this guy keep saying Luna?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's their name.
Well, and that's the hard part about guarding all the receivers, but especially Luna, that they're going to beat you over the top potentially, and so you give them a cushion. Now all of a sudden they throw it short, you stiff arm them, and you're almost to the touchdown anyway.
And we have some quick motion here, or quick tempo rather, from the Wildcats. 4 receivers in the set. Luna in the pistol, and he's got the running back, Luna rolling right. Looking, he's being pressured now. Going to throw it back across the end zone to who else? Luna catches it into the end zone. Touchdown. Ripley Luna to Colby Luna. That's the 2nd time they've connected in the end zone.
And some excellent camera work, saving it from being missed by the post as we're in this little cozy press box here. You saw in the background that the military vehicle here is here tonight. Again, it's a military appreciation night. Hats off to all of them as well as first responders. And speaking to response, nice job by Kellogg, just putting on a quick response and showing their momentum again with scoring against Moscow after Moscow did a nice job of stopping them a couple of times.
How'd you like to drive that vehicle with today's gas prices? Luna throws it out of the backfield, and it's incomplete, so the 2-point conversion is no good. They were perfect on 2-point conversions on the night up until that one. But nonetheless, 6 points for the Wildcats and a 22-0 lead. And as far as time is concerned here, 4:09 left here in the first half. 22-0 in favor of the Wildcats. So, Jason, things obviously haven't gone the Bears' way here in opening day in their home field. What do you think the coaches are saying on the sideline to try to get the players back into it? 22-0 doesn't look good, but they're still not out of it.
Well, and I'm sure Coach Bafis is thinking long haul here because, again, first year he built a heck of a program, was part of a heck of a program in Troy. I'm sure he's thinking, don't burn anything down here. We're just first half of the first game of the first season. But I'm guessing he's willing to sell out the playbook to get some momentum. If he could get some points here and then be able to go into halftime not as far down as he is and use up the rest of the clock, I think that's where he's hoping. Just burn some clock, take as much time as you need to get a positive gain, get those first downs, get your offense a little more confident, and not trying to catch up in the first half because that's not going to happen here. But just get some first downs and get some points. Even if it's a field goal, just get some momentum heading into halftime. And keeping the Luna kids away from that darn ball as best they can.
Well, speaking of which, we've got one of the Luna brothers set to kick things off here down to Moscow. That's number 15, Colby Luna, the senior. And back deep to receive for the Bears is number 83, I believe, Cody Wilson, the junior. And Luna once again sends it deep. And it's taken inside the 5. Wilson, he's into the second level here. And that's not Wilson. That is number 5, Michael Kiblin. So they've switched return men there just to throw me off, and he gets all the way to the 45-yard line.
Looks like it tricked you and Kellogg there because that was a nice return. He was able to put him right in that position that we were just talking about where you have 4 minutes left before halftime and you're able to get your offense. This is exactly the spot they want to be on the field as a run team. Now just start burning up some clock, getting some yards, get some first downs, get that momentum that they haven't really had play after play on offense yet.
That's right. And with 4 minutes to go, they still have enough time to run the ball down the field. So if they really wanted to burn some clock and if they're able to punch it into the end zone before halftime, that would really cap off this first half on a positive note for the Bears. So they got to start here. 1st and 10. Ball's on the 45. I formation look. Pressure being shown by the Wildcats. Taylor, under center, takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off up the middle. They bounce it out to the outside, and he's almost able to get into the second level, but brought down from behind. That was number 15 for the Bears, Toby Fry.
Yeah, nice job by that pursuit from Kellogg. They did have him corralled, and he tried to bounce it outside, but they used their speed to get him down quick. If he was able to get to that edge, sorry, Garrison, if he was able to get to the edge and away from that pile, I think he would have got a nice gain, but that speed from Kellogg wasn't having it.
Pickup of 2 on the last play. 2nd and 8. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line. I formation look once again. And a false start. That's not going to help matters for the Bears, as that's going to back it up and make it 2nd and about 12.
Yeah, and we just talked about how that was kind of a drive killer for Kellogg in a couple of different ways. Now it's Moscow's turn to kind of put their offense in a hole, which they don't need to be anything deeper than they already are.
So 2nd and 14, we'll call it. I formation here for the Bears. 2 receivers, 1 on each side. Man-to-man defense for the Wildcats. Pressure in the box, and there's a fumble in the backfield. There's a bit of a scrum for the ball, but looks like Moscow's got it. But nonetheless, that's going to bring up 3rd and about 16.
Yeah, Coach Bafis doesn't want to, but he calls timeout. Clearly his dudes are rattled up between the false start and the fumble. You do have a play here. You got all the time you need. If you get that first down with just under 3 minutes left, but you have to have the first down. Otherwise, Kellogg's going to get the ball again, and that could mean more points.
That's right. So here in the first half, we have 2 minutes, 55 seconds, 3rd and 14, ball on the 40. So not exactly a pristine location here for the Bears at this point in time. But on a 3rd and 14 with this kind of situation, what are you calling, Jason? Is there a play that comes to mind?
I strongly believe that a screenplay would be a good one for them. They sent some stuff deep. We haven't really seen them use a screen. This is kind of a passing down. That's a nice time to use your screenplay. They've shown that their running backs can kind of whittle their way through some things to get some yards if they need it. Even if you could get in 4th and short, being that you're in midfield, you at least make them think you might punt or go for it on the next down. So I think we're going to see a screen here.
We shall see. Pistol formation here for the Bears. 2 receivers on each side, 4 total in the formation. Taylor, back to pass, pressured from the outside. He steps up into the pocket, throws a dart over the top, and it's caught. 1st down, Moscow.
Better yet, could Coach Bafis run that play? That's a nice play. He picks up the 1st down right now. You don't have to worry about trying to whittle your way through anything. Excellent call lots of confidence from the quarterback because his line was set and understood what they were supposed to do.
That looked like Sam Young, the junior running back, on the reception. Boy, what a clutch throw and catch there from the quarterback, number 6, Dylan Taylor, to Sam Young. Solid connection on the deep corner route.
Yeah, Taylor's getting a little more confidence. That offensive line in front of him is doing a little better job, and he's really starting to pick up some momentum.
So 22-0 here. 1st and 10, ball in the 38. Pressure being brought up the middle. Taylor, he's got to step back, and he gets swarmed by the Wildcats and brought down. A big-time blitz, big-time sack.
Yeah, and that's how you stop that. I mean, obviously that's the counter. You just showed Kellogg with a lot of pressure right in his face. And as much as he was trying to keep his eyes where they're supposed to be, coach is saying I'm supposed to respond to pressure and step up in the pocket. When you have purple after purple after purple coming at you, now all of a sudden you're right back where you were just moments ago with a nice catch and throw. But now you got a running clock with just over 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Minute 35 to be precise. 2nd and 20. Ball on the 49-yard line. 22-0. Pistol set here for the Bears. Trips to the far side. Taylor loses the ball. It's a fumble, and he's just got to fall on it. My goodness, Jason. Back-to-back downs here in the first three downs. Almost identical sequences.
Yeah. At this point, I think Moscow's just hoping you can get to halftime. I think Kellogg just called their timeout, knowing that they're going to get the ball back if this doesn't go.
Now, 1 minute and 3 seconds left. It's going to be 3rd and 30. Ball on the 41. Again, not a lot of plays in the playbook for something like this.
Well, especially when you came in here thinking you're going to be a kind of a ground and pound team. Kellogg, that's showing their playoff moxie as well with the fact that you're playing a bigger school. And you don't want to give them anything. Even at halftime, no matter if you've subbed yet or not, they're thinking we want to hold the score, hold Moscow scoreless rather, and shut them down here. So not only are they hoping to get a stop, but I think they're also thinking points if they can get it.
So we talked about Kellogg before the game tonight and talked about how they went 6-3 last year. They were a playoff team. Let's kind of take a snap back to Moscow here. So last year they started 3-1 on the season and destroyed Pullman 47-7, and then they lost their last 4 games to end the season. So kind of finished with a bad taste in their mouth, but 3-4 overall, not bad. What is there stuff you can take away from last year to build into this year?
Well, I think with a coaching staff change, it's a little hard to do, but the kids are always going to be the same, obviously. But I think it's one of those where kids always just want to be successful, and Coach Bafis has got a plan and a path to get there.
4 receivers in the set. They run verts down the middle, and this one's caught once again, this time by number 15. That's Toby Fry, who's been in the backfield. He's been at wide receiver. The versatility there on display, but still it's going to be only about half of what they needed. That's going to bring it to maybe 4th and 20.
Yeah, 4th and 20, and Kellogg again calls a timeout, thinking, well, there's 51 seconds left. You're kind of using this as a game, end of game scenario. Who knows what happens in the second half. If you're Moscow, I think you got to punt here, right? You got to push him back as far as you can, even though your punt games have been a little suspect. But when he has time, he's shown some nice foot. So I think it's definitely one of those where they're hoping to get a nice punt and get him pushed down near the big American flag you were just talking about.
That's right. So it's going to be from this spot that they have set up here. We've got 51 seconds left, 3rd and 18, and ball's on the 48-yard line. And the first down marker is, at the 29-yard line. So, 28-yard line, rather. So a little bit too much work to do, like you were saying. I would punt it.
The problem, obviously, is that Ripley Luna can throw the ball 50 yards at a shot. So that's 2 passes and a touchdown. I'm not a math guy, but that's a problem.
We'll see what happens here. The Bears, they've got their quarterback out on the field. In the gun is number 6, Dylan Taylor. Now, he could still catch it and punt it himself.
Yep, which might be a nice play. There's nobody back there.
Taylor, back to pass. They're going to go for it. He steps up, looking, and he's going to throw a quick dump off here. Not enough. And that is going to be a turnover on downs. Number 5, Michael Kiblin on the reception. And now the Wildcats, they've got some decent field position here.
That's true, but I still think, Coach Bafus knows his dudes better than we do. And I like the idea of maybe he called his guys together and said, what do you want to do? And maybe it was one of those situations where maybe we burn a little clock because we ran a play instead of just punted, as well as if he breaks that one solo tackle, he might have been able to go as well. So definitely one of those where now Moscow is in a little bit of a rush.
So 3 receivers in the set here. And number 2, Ripley Luna in the gun. It takes the snap, fires it to the far side of the field. That's caught by number 11. That's Meredith. That is Varick Meredith, the senior, and he's got himself a first down, and the chains are on the move.
Chains are on the move, but the clock does stop until the chains are set.
1st and 10, ball on the 48-yard line. Same exact formation here for the Wildcats. 4 receivers in total. And they're going to throw it to the near side of the field this time. It's Luna. And he's inside the 30, inside the 20, and he's finally brought down from behind at the 5-yard line. So the clock's still stopped. Sorry, Jason.
I was just going to say, this is exactly what you're hoping for if you're Kellogg. You have to run these plays, show that moxie.
So it looks like the clock was still running.
Well, it kind of looked a little herky-jerky. The chains weren't set. It's the first game for everybody. Chains weren't set. Moscow calls timeout, I think, just to make sure their guys are set and they know where they're supposed to be. But this is exactly what Kellogg was hoping to do in this situation week 1, simply because of the fact that your guys are more experienced and you believe you're more than just a first-round playoff team. They're hoping to do some heavy damage in the 2As.
So 10 seconds left currently, unless they change the time there on the clock.
I would think Coach Davidian is probably thinking, let's call 2 plays in case something happens. You just keep maybe Moscow a little bit off guard, a little bit frazzled. You can always go slow if you need to, but if you could get 2 plays, and especially probably want to go to Luna on that, simply because it's going to be brother to brother.
Is Cody Wilson out?
I don't know.
So 1st and goal here. Ball is spotted at the 7-yard line. 10.5 seconds to go. 22-0. And the Wildcats come to the line. Man-to-man coverage for the Bears. They've got 3 down linemen. Luna in the pistol. He's got 3 receivers in the set. Luna takes the snap. Looks to the near side. It's a crossing route. And it's incomplete. That was heavily into traffic. And they still got time for 1 more play, maybe 2 if they're super quick. 6 seconds.
Excellent job by the Moscow defense right there. But what a tight window to try and throw that ball into with lots of white shirts or camo shirts around it.
So 2nd and goal. 6 seconds left. Shotgun set here. Once again in the pistol set. They've kind of got a bunch formation here, do the Wildcats. Moscow showing man-to-man. Luna goes in motion across the screen. He's going to look that way. It's a corner route. It's caught by Luna. He dives for the end zone. Touchdown. Once again, the Luna-to-Luna connection is alive and well. That's their 2nd touchdown connection of the night. Or is that their 3rd, Jason? I'm losing count here.
Well, he did run one in. It was definitely one of those situations where he had the bunch, just like you said, then you're worried about cross routes, and then they take their best player and ISO him across the formation at the far side of the field. That's tough even if you had help, but there isn't able to really send much help over there because you still got to worry about the run up the middle. So way to use your formation and your personnel to really pick Moscow apart in that goal line situation right there.
And they score with 0.2 seconds left. Talk about a buzzer beater. Of course, in football, it doesn't matter. They let the play finish out. But you know what I mean, Jason.
Yeah.
You get it.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
And look at this. Luna. We got one Luna. Ripley Luna's the holder. And then his brother Colby Luna is the kicker. And the kick is up and no good. It looked like it was a duck shot out of cannon. So we'll stick to kickoffs.
Duck shot at the cannon right at the old military vehicle down there in the end zone.
That's right. But nonetheless, still another 6 points for the Wildcats. 28-0. And Jason, their offense, for the most part, has just been a machine.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we talked about with Moscow, that they needed to worry about simply because that's who they are. They can quick strike. Mike Leach from WSU used to be in this area, obviously, and he's gone on to other places now, but that's kind of how his offense was. Doesn't really matter what time is left. We can easily score from wherever, and that's kind of what they went to as well, especially when you have that brother connection as far as twin brothers, just kind of slinging around the yard. And again, hats off to that offensive line from Kellogg. Those guys are undersold here tonight, just keeping Ripley Luna upright and relaxed the whole time.
So this is kind of the last play of the half here. We've got 0.2 seconds on the clock. And the Bears, well, will they hit Pater on this final play? Now's the time to bring out the trickeration here on a kickoff.
That's right.
So thus far on the night, number 15, Luna, set to kick off. That's Colby Luna. And he's done a very good job of controlling the field on his kickoffs here, as he has on most attempts gone inside the 5. Back deep to receive for the Bears. That looks like it's number 5, Michael Kiblin, who on the last one returned it 40 yards. And they're just going to do a little pooch just to keep it away from him. And they fumble the ball, and they just dive on it, and that's going to be the end of the first half. So that's about as good as you can wrap it up here for the Wildcats. Folks, we've played 2. Our first game here in District 2 of this new young season has the Kellogg Wildcats with a 28-0 lead over the hometown Moscow Bears. We'll be right back here after these messages from our sponsors. You're watching IdahoSports.com.
Get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Kellogg just came down from the 3As down to the 2As, so that makes them like one of the biggest schools in that level. So I think that ranges from like 150 to about 350. So I think they have like 340 kids. So yeah. Yeah. Right.
Let's see where we're at. Oh, we're live. We're back. I mean, the commercial's over. I'll play a P1FCU ad line.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend 1938.
Go more than 20 miles. I think even for you to go to Lewiston is more than 20 miles there and back. Is because it's there so it's not a one-way thing. I think it's like...
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We appreciate it. Oh, one more. What's this one? I've never seen this one.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it. How to dream big and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking live at Moscow, Idaho, under the lights as it's game night here on the Palouse. Before we get back to our first half recap here, this has been an IdahoSports.com game stream production of Game Night on the Palouse presented by P1FCU. Brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And folks, by the way, you can make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file for this game for just $10. Well, $9.95 to be exact. Just click the button on the top right to order. And you can follow IdahoSports.com on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Click the icons on the top left to follow us now. And always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the IdahoSports.com Prepcasts cover every inch of Idaho, hosted by Brandon Baney. Brandon and I actually used to have a Prepcast last year. But then he dumped me. I see how it is. Each Prepcast features one of our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. And by the way, did you get your Gridiron game picks in this week? Compete every week against the other high school sports fans and the so-called experts, because truthfully, we don't know what we're talking about. At IdahoSports.com for free, win weekly prizes and the chance to be crowned the regular season picks champ. It's okay if you start now, because weekly winners get $25. So you got a chance to win cash. What am I doing here?
Yeah, make more money doing that.
That's right. If you are the regular season grand champion, you win $100, and a $250 donation will be given in your name to you. No, I'm kidding. To your favorite Idaho high school athletic program. Best of all, it's free to play. So, again, IdahoSports.com. We've got a ton of stuff going on here, Jason.
It's a place to be as we talk about it at the end of the year. Now's the time to start tearing into the website and starting to figure out, okay, so where am I supposed to go next Friday? What about 2 weeks from now? Who's playing who? What's the best game to watch at home?
Well, speaking of which, let's go ahead and break down the first half highlights. And really, Jason, it was all Kellogg on the night. It's 28-0 in favor of the Wildcats. And boy, oh boy, did they just come in and set the tone immediately.
They did. They came out, and special teams, we talk all the time as coaches or fans about the three phases, and we saw that right off the bat with the kickoff, the defense response. They get Moscow pushed back. They didn't even get a first down until the second quarter. And then all of a sudden the offense from Kellogg just gets clicking, and they're just rolling. But at the same time in the second quarter, Moscow defense started to show some life, kind of doing their own business, and really kind of forced Kellogg to have to scratch around a little bit and do some things they weren't comfortable with.
And that's right. And as far as the game thus far, well, we talk about the IdahoSports.com players of the game. The Lunas come to mind here. Ripley Luna, the quarterback, of Kellogg, has thrown, I believe, 3 touchdowns on the night. He's also run for 1. He does have that 1 interception when Moscow made a good defensive stand there. But nonetheless, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception, solid ratio, and then 1 on the ground. His brother, Colby Luna, not only can he control a field with his kickoff skills, he's got it through the air as well with his receiving ability.
Yeah, and we've seen both of them play a little defense as well with some tackles and some work there as well. So it's kind of one of those situations where it's the Lunas, but at the same time now you're starting to see, as we've mentioned before, the Meredith and Garcia and some of those other guys starting to step up as receivers. And that offensive line from Kellogg with a center, Gabe Jenisek, as well as Ethan Spencer, I believe, and Chris Heed and or Head and Alex Jones. I mean, just some different guys who are really keeping the Lunas in business. And they don't oftentimes get their names mentioned simply because they're doing their work so well.
And head coach Dan Davidian's got to be happy with what he's seen thus far tonight.
Well, and being able to do some of that game management stuff where they use their timeouts just like you're talking about all summer. Let's use our timeouts. We're going to get the ball back, and then we're going to score in this situation. It just pumping more and more confidence into that Kellogg team and really showing that they're going to do some heavy damage this year. Coming down from the 3As to the 2As, they have to be the favorite. I believe that they were tied for 4th in the state at the 2A level. They're billed that way, and I think they're going to be in the final 2.
Well, that's right. Well, seeing as we're talking about Kellogg right now, let's take a look at their 22-23 football schedule here. So obviously tonight, things going well here in Moscow, 28-0 at half. But after this, they're off to the state of Washington. They're going to go take on Newport, or maybe Newport comes to them, rather. It says versus Newport. So that could very well be Newport.
At Kellogg.
At Kellogg. I was right there. I can read.
Yeah,
Get off my back, Jason.
You got it.
Next, after that, they've got Deer Park High School, and that's at Deer Park High School, so they'll once again go on the road. And then they're taking on some familiar foes, their new conference. They'll take on St. Mary's, Orofino. Then they've got Frenchtown, so they've got to go all the way to France for that one.
Right, French Montana.
That's right.
And so it's interesting for them. They come down here, they go to Washington for a couple of games, they take on 2, then they go to Montana, and then they go against Bonners Ferry up north, and then they're back against their conference foes. The guys that they beat up 146-40 last year, that's their new league. I really like their schedule because they have some important high-pressure games, and then they have some non-conference stuff. And so Coach Davidian, third-year coach, doing a heck of a job both scheduling as well as getting his guys ready for these games, especially taking on a 4A level team tonight.
And I was mistaken on that. Frenchtown will actually be coming to Kellogg. So that's home territory right there for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats are certainly set up for success here. Now, on the home side, the Moscow Bears. Obviously, tonight they're taking on Kellogg, but then the rest of the season, next week they take on Clarkston. And last year, they played Clarkston as well and won 40-33. So that should be an interesting matchup there.
Well, and I think Coach Bafis, obviously tonight getting out of the blocks early and wanting to get a win. Obviously, you'd want that, but you're taking on a out-of-state foe, and it's somebody that they beat last year. And so hopefully your guys got some confidence. And I don't believe, given it's Washington, that they've played yet. So that's their first game. So you can look at the tape, kind of spit and polish your program, and get them on the right track. And Coach Bavis knows how to do that.
Well, hey, speaking of Washington, then they play their arch rivals, Pullman, Washington. And hey, my dad wrote in about this one and said
keep it PG.
He wrote in, go Kellogg. He cannot support the Bears because, well, he's a Greyhound. So you Moscow fans understand. After that, they've got Timberlake, then they've got Lake City, then Lewiston. That'll be a tough matchup. And then they finish out kind of an interesting conference here. There's only 3 teams in the Inland Empire 4A. And so they'll take on Sandpoint and Lakeland, and that'll decide the conference championship.
Yeah, and that's really the 2 that I have start at the very end of their season, which is kind of tough to do, where you play all these games and you hope you're building to the finish, and then that Lakeland one is the one you have to win. I mean, obviously you want to beat Sandpoint as well, but they're a pretty tough matchup in that league. But if they could get Lakeland here at home for senior night, all the marbles, definitely one that they're hoping to get. But Coach Bafus, he knows how to navigate, trust the process, get them headed in the right direction 1 week at a time. He mentioned that in an email, just 1 week at a time, and just keep getting better and better every week.
And that Sandpoint team last year took a really good Lewiston team down to the wire and beat them in overtime when they went for 2. That was a fun game to keep an eye on there. And it's going to be interesting to see how Lewiston does this time around. Jason, you and I were there last year to cover a playoff game, I believe, when they took on one of the Boise schools, Capital, who came up from the Boise area. And, Capital kind of laid a licking on those Bengals, but nonetheless, excellent season from Lewiston. I'm getting off track here.
No, I was just going to say, now we get to watch the matchup next week because we're
getting
doing
on
Lewiston
track.
Capital. You're on it.
I don't even know what I'm talking about, and it's going great.
Capital struggling, looking for their first win. They're 0-2. Lost Thursday against Bishop Kelly, 6-41. And then Lewiston played today in the Rocky Mountain Rumble and lost to Layton, Utah, 28-41 earlier today. So they're also looking for their first win. And Coach Pancari, we've watched his teams get better and better every week, and so he's going to start getting that program headed in the right direction and looking for a big win and some revenge against Capital.
That's right. That's right. So, Jason, as we approach the end of halftime here, we've got the Moscow Bears out on the field here getting warmed up, and Kellogg's off on their sideline getting ready to go. Let's go into each respective locker room. Let's say we're in Kellogg's right now. You're up 28-0. Things are going great. What are you telling your team right now if you're Coach Davidian?
I think Coach Davidian is thinking, you know what, let's stay pedal to the metal, play another half a quarter, maybe a full quarter, and then see if we can't get some other guys trickled in there. You know that Luna is going to be important, and you have many weeks that you're going to want them to be playing. So you want to show some dominance, come out of the locker room, get confidence again, and definitely get some points on the board and get that arm warmed up and receiving. But you're definitely going to want to get those other guys injected because as a coach, you're thinking, okay, so what happens in 23-24, 24-25? You want to get those guys, get that momentum spread all the way down to your younger guys, especially where, as we just mentioned, they're going to have some time to get some experience on Friday night, underneath the lights, military night. On the opposite side, Coach Bafus is thinking, okay, we got to get some confidence here, right? They've shown some flashes. They had a couple of special teams plays that were great. They had some offensive plays that were great. They had some defensive plays that were great. Now you got to start putting some stuff together, hopefully win this third quarter, and see if you can't get some things turned around to battle in the fourth.
And now on the Moscow side, Jason, we've both been there in locker rooms where, things didn't go great in that first half. What are you telling your team right now? Obviously, can't get it all back at once, cliche, blah, blah. What are you telling your guys out there?
Yeah, I always say, you can't eat an elephant all at once. You got to take off little bites, and so it's one of those situations where I think that's what they do. They have to kick off. They got to get a stop, get a score, get some first downs. Just do it in small chunks. Coach Bafus has built programs before, and he's got this one headed in the right direction already. But it's definitely one of those where you got to inject that confidence in your guys, and I think that they can do that. It's just going to be some tough sledding against Kellogg, this powerful 2A team.
And unfortunately for the Bears, Kellogg starts with the ball in this second half.
Yeah.
So defense needs to come out, stand tall, and get a stop here. And we are getting ready for the opening kick of half number 2. And set to kick off for Moscow. Actually, I believe this is the first time we've seen Moscow kick off tonight. I can't see the number of the kicker just yet. All right, he's just messing with me at this point. There we go. That looks like number 22, Caden Teagan. So that makes sense. He's also the punter. And he's getting ready to send this deep and start the second half. Back deep to receive. We've got 2 Wildcats deep to receive. Teagan's going to pooch this one into the middle row. And it's taken at the 30. And it's at the 40. And brought to the 45. Ball is down! Moscow's got it! That's just what they needed!
What a great little kick right there. You kept it out of your most dangerous kids' play, or hands rather, and then your defense, your special teams was able to just rally up, get a strip, And that's exactly what Coach Bafus was hoping for, just little chunks at a time. You did a special teams play, now you're back on offense. Now get a first down or a couple of them, maybe get a score, and really inject some life into this team.
The time is now for the Moscow Bears, and the crowd is on their feet once again. Well, that student section's been on their feet most of the night, but there's some excitement here now. 1st and 10, ball spotted in great field position at the 42-yard line. I formation here for the Bears. And almost a missed snap there, but they're able to get a hold of it. And a solid run up the middle there from Toby Fry, who's got a pickup of 5 for the Bears.
Well, now that special teams life is now offensive life. They got a little push. And all of a sudden now you're getting that offensive playbook exactly where you want it to be. It's not necessarily super flashy, but as long as you can get it solid and get a touchdown here, then all of a sudden you're crawling right back where you want to be.
And in at quarterback right now is number 19, Noah Valesco, the sophomore. And it looks like they're giving him a chance to start things off here in the second half. Once again, I formation, 2nd and 5. 2 receivers in the set for Valesco. And we've got a false start, so that opening play there is erased, and it's now going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Offensive lineman there patting his ear pads or ear holes thinking, gosh, dang it. But that's kind of the hard part about changing voices a little bit, changing cadences. Even though the words are the same, they sound a little bit different and a little bit more excitement, and then all of a sudden you jump off sides, and Kellogg has got some defensive momentum themselves.
So it's actually going to be 2nd and 11 here. Ball is at the 43-yard line. Once again, an I formation for the Bears. Valesco under center. Valesco takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Once again, the running back bounces off a tackler, and he's brought down from behind, Toby Fry. It looked like he was going to break free into the second level, but he was grabbed from behind and went down pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah, he's kind of sneaky with his moves there, trying to poke and find a hole to run in, and all of a sudden it looks a little bit misdirection where he tries it to the right, he goes to the left, nothing there, he bounces to the outside. He's just trying to make something happen, and all of that just turns out to be a gain of 0.
And that brings us to 3rd and 11 here. Ball is spotted at the 42-yard line.
Might get to see Valesco's arm here.
He's got 3 receivers to the far side to work with as he surveys the defense. And it's a blitz. Valesco's got to get rid of it over the middle, and that was almost caught, but what a defensive play there. That was number 4, Jude Erlandson.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play. That was a catch, but he was able to swipe and claw at the ball just at the last second, and then it wasn't incomplete. I think that would have been almost a first down had it been completed.
But not a bad pass there over the middle from the backup quarterback, Noah Valesco. So obviously not what the Bears wanted on that opening drive, but nonetheless, they took it away from the Wildcats, and now here comes a punt and an extra player here for the Bears. That's number 11, Alex Thrall, running in from the sideline. So Teagan, once again, set to punt it away. And he boots this into the night sky here in Moscow, Idaho. It's end over end, and it's taken inside the 10. That's number 7 for the Wildcats, who's trying to run to the far side of the field, Ramsey Reno. And he's got the sideline, and he's all the way close to midfield at the 45-yard line, almost close to where the Bears punted it away.
And I think that's the kind of stuff that's going to make Kellogg a final team in the 2A. Is it we're talking Luna, and then all of a sudden these other names are starting to show up, and what a great return by that young man and all of the blockers in front of him. Those are going to be important yards as the season continues.
So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs for the Wildcats as they take over. Their offense, after putting 28 up in the first half, is going to look to do more of the same here. Ripley Luna in the gun. Luna takes the snap, fires it over near side. Meredith runs forward, gets to the 50, and he goes down on the other side here. Ball spotted at the 49 after he's tripped up. So a solid opening catch and run here. Second and 3. He's got 4 receivers in the set here. Number 2, Luna in the gun. Pressure being shown from the Bears, and they bring it. And that forced Luna to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to, probably, and it's incomplete. So a good call there from the Bears.
And I like the leadership. Ripley Luna, the quarterback there, clapping his hands, mad at himself, thinking, okay, there was pressure in my face. That receiver was open. That was a bad ball. That's my fault. So excellent job on that young man's part, thinking, okay, how do we get better? Regardless of the scoreboard, we got to get better.
3rd and 3. Another chance here for the Bears to potentially get a stop. 3 receivers in the set here as Luna surveys his receiving corpse. Drops back to pass, looks to the far side. It's a quick slant across the middle, and it's incomplete. His intended target was, who else? Number 15, Colby Luna.
And here comes Moscow with a 4th and short. Defense is really rising to the occasion. If they could just hold them here, I think Kellogg is going to go for it, obviously, but it's one of those situations where if they could get this, now all of a sudden the defense has shown up, just like the special teams did moments ago.
So 4th and 3, ball on the 49. 8 minutes, 37 seconds to go here. Big stop chance here for the Bears. Motion being shown from the far side. That is number 3, Reed Whatcott. Luna keeps it, and he's going to step up and try to run it himself. He's got the first down and more, and he is finally upended by number 29. That was Connor Isaacson on the tackle.
And right near the line of scrimmage, there looks to be some laundry. Block in the back. So great scramble by Ripley Luna. However, it took a block in the back to do it. So that's the defensive stuff that Moscow needs. This may force the first punt.
So we'll see where this goes here. It's going to take a 4th and short and make it a 4th and long. And it looks like they are bringing on the punt unit here for the Wildcats.
Again, Coach Baif has got to be happy about this. We've seen the special teams at the beginning of the half. Now defense shows up. First game jitters here as we have a player run in real quick. Oh, yeah, I guess I am on that team.
And here's the punt. Solid punt, end over end, and it's taken by number 5 for Moscow. That was Michael Kiblin. And there's some laundry here by midfield. It looks like the Bears got a little bit frustrated there.
Yeah, somewhere between a push and a pull and 2 guys introducing themselves to each other. I believe it would have been after the punt.
So it is a personal foul against the Bears. It looked like the call is on number 15, Toby Fry, as he was trying to make the block. And we know how football is. It gets physical sometimes out there.
Yeah. I think it was just a high emotions, nothing cheap or anything like that. But Moscow does get the ball, but the frustrating part is you lose that yardage you had, minus 15. Now you're way back near your goal line. But you do get the ball. Now it's time for the offense to respond. We've seen them come out with a quarterback change. Lesko was just the quarterback, so hopefully they can do something with that, and then off they go.
So Noah Valesco has got the entire field to work with him here. He's got spotted at the 15-yard line. And that's going to be a 1st and 10. So 65 yards until Pater. Trips to the near side of the field here. Man-to-man coverage on the outside from the Wildcats. Valesco back to pass, looks far side. It's caught, nice little hook route. Dances away from one defender, and he's brought down for a solid pickup. That was about 7 to 8 yards there for the Bears.
Nice job by the offensive line from Moscow this time, giving Valesco some time to set up, hitch up, throws a nice ball. Nice big gain, maybe one of the best ones we've seen so far, at least intentionally. There was a couple of miscues that led to good gains, but now they're in business.
2nd and 3 coming up here, so we'll call it a game of 7 on that last one. Valesco in the pistol. And this time he's got trips to the far side of the field, one back in the backfield. Outside linebackers will come for the Wildcats. Valesco fires a quick one out to the far side. It's caught, and that's going to be a first down for the Bears. And just like that, they're on the move.
Yeah, a nice little hitch-up bubble screen to the outside to the far side. Kind of a run play by a different formation. Kind of changing things up. You change quarterbacks. That allows your offensive playbook to change a little bit. Means the same stuff to all the offensive guys. Nice job there by Moscow getting a nice first down.
A couple of subs coming in for the Bears here. Number 44, Ebby Qualls. I believe that's how you say it. I'm just going with it. And number 22, Caden Teagan. Check in from the sidelines. Qualls is an imposing figure at fullback as they come out in an I formation. Pressure being shown by the Wildcats. 8 men in the box. And they hand it off up the middle. Qualls the lead blocker. And he runs in, the running back runs into a host of Wildcats for a pickup of 2 or 3.
Oh, and they're right back to their stuff. We talked about them being a little bit more of a 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that power run game, especially when you have Qualls in there at fullback. If you could just follow him through a hole, he'll do some damage, and off you run.
And once again, they go back to more of a shotgun set-oriented roster here. They've got Butch Kiblin checking into the game. And there was another one I didn't catch, but he's out there. So this is back to the pistol as Valesco has a running back behind him. I believe that's Toby Fry. Valesco takes the snap, throws it to the far side of the field. It's another screen play here. And the receiver's able to dance forward for a pickup of about 4. But there is a flag in the backfield. And there's some unhappy fans as well. Personal foul is the call. And it's on the defense. So that is going to be a first down for the Bears. So I think what happened, Jason, is the Bears, Valesco's helmet came off, so he had to rush off to the sideline.
But if it's because of a penalty like that, I believe you get to stay in the game.
Well, it looks like they've got Dylan Taylor. He was the starter. Okay, they've got Valesco back now. But they're sending Taylor in.
Send them both in.
That's right, 2 quarterbacks for the price of 1.
Yeah. But what it does is Moscow's offense has already had a little momentum. Now all of a sudden you picked up a nice chunk. Now you're out at midfield. If I move the camera, you might be able to see that.
Oh, there we
go. So that's that offensive momentum. We've seen special teams. We've seen some defense. Nice job in the locker rooms at halftime getting them going here. Coach Bafus has got his troops heading in the right direction.
So 1st and 10 for the Bears here after that personal foul penalty against Kellogg. And the ball is set directly on midfield. So a fresh set of downs. 5 minutes, 35 seconds here in quarter number 3. They hand it off up the middle. And it's a solid pickup there, another gain of 5. So it looks like some wear and tear potentially coming on here for the Wildcats. Maybe they're getting a little tired on defense.
Well, and I'm sure this is super frustrating from Coach Davidian because your guys were playing so well in the first half. But you do want to be challenged a little bit here. Okay, let's rally up the troops. And the fact that so many of these guys are playing 2 ways because they're 2A and numbers and whatever else. We talked about the Luna kids playing both sides. Sometimes those body blow kind of does some damage, and all of a sudden you're starting to get some gains that you weren't getting in the first half.
So 2nd and 6 now. Another I formation set here. 1 receiver on each side of the formation for the Bears, and they're going to hand it off to Qualls up the middle, who falls forward. That's basically all he needs to do.
Yeah.
And he's got a pickup of 4.
Gets those legs a churning and picks up a nice gain.
And now it's very 3rd and manageable here. 3rd and 3.
I think this is more the style that Moscow thought they might have at the beginning of the game. Now they're just kind of getting right on the track to where they want to go.
Butch Kiblin checking back into the game. Butch is a sophomore wide receiver and defensive back. 3rd and 3. Ball on the 43-yard line. Just over 4 minutes to go in quarter number 3. I formation set here. Pressure being shown by the Wildcats, and we've got a flag, and that's encroachment. First down, Moscow. I swear the Bears have gotten more first downs courtesy of Kellogg than them themselves.
Yeah, well, and some of that is just doing the snap count and some of that, Velasco walked away from the line of the underneath center, kind of excited about how he'd kind of drawn him off. So give him credit for that. They've also changed back from Taylor to Velasco, and so it seems like it was kind of seamless between the two of them. So those guys working well together in practice, showing tonight on the game.
So fresh set of downs for the Bears. 1st and 10, ball on the 38. Under 4 minutes to go now in the third quarter. I formation set. And the linebackers are coming up here from the Wildcats. They're going to fake it. They're going over the top from Velasco. And it was almost a catch, but it looks like it went right through the hands of number 22. That was Caden Teagan, the intended target.
Yeah, it was so close. I think the Moscow fans were thinking he had caught it. But all of that pressure kind of opened up the receiver. Had he just been able to hitch up just a little bit more and keep him on his feet, that receiver would have probably gone quite a distance.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Ball still at the 38-yard line. And the Wildcats brought some pressure on that one. We'll see if they do it again here. Trips to the near side of the field. One receiver at the far side. One back in the backfield. That's likely Toby Fry, who's been getting the lion's share of the starting and running back role. Velasco over the middle, and it's incomplete. And actually, that was intended at Toby Fry. It looked like he almost wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, a number of the defensive players were thinking, man, I was so close to an interception on that because it was right by the linebackers, and I think they both thought the other one was going to catch it.
And just like that, it's 3rd and 10. We can likely be expecting a penalty from Kellogg here. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Gotta stay unbiased here as the broadcaster.
Not if Coach Davidian can do anything about it. I'm sure he's thinking, okay, we want to be challenged, but let's keep our heads.
That's right. 3 minutes, 37 seconds to go here. And the clock has stopped, obviously, because of the incompletion. So we've got trips to the near side of the field once again for the Bears, and they've got 5 receivers in this set. Velasco is all alone in the backfield. He's got plenty of time, fires a slant route over the middle. It's caught, but it's going to be about halfway of the yardage they needed to get, so this is likely 4-down territory.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also thought it was interesting. This time, Kellogg kind of stayed back and played coverage instead of sending some pressure, and Velasco was able to get really comfortable and deliver a nice ball there for half the distance that he needed. It'll be interesting to see if they change things up and make him a little worried with some pressure.
That is what I'll say about Velasco. He's looked very poised in the pocket for a backup sophomore quarterback. 3 minutes to go here, 4th and 3. Ball on the 33-yard line. Velasco pressured immediately, rolling to his left, gets rid of it, and it looks like it's caught. That was number 20 on the reception, Butch Kiblin.
Yeah, it was a heck of a ball. It just kind of hung up there, and barely it got to the receiver where he wanted it to go. You're right, though. He did have a lot of pressure getting right around him. Moscow's got a heck of a lot of momentum right now.
5 receivers in the set. They're going for the kill at this point, trying to get into the end zone, and there's a timeout. It looks like the Wildcats sensed the momentum shift, and they want to talk things over. Well, folks, while we have a break in the action here, let's thank some of our sponsors. This is an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Game Night on the Palouse, presented by P1FCU. Brought to you by major advertising partners Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. And folks, make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just the low, low price of $9.95. Just click the button in the top right to order. And hey, you can follow us on social media, by the way. IdahoSports.com is on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Click the icons in the top left to follow us now. And hey, our army of Idaho Sports action photographers are covering games all over the state. I'm sure we've got some here right now.
Just breaking the huddle. Sorry, I didn't mean to break your thought. I was trying to give you a heads up.
Well, thanks a lot. No, I'm just kidding. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. So go to IdahoSports.com and click the action photos link in the menu. And now we're back on the field here. Moscow's got 5 receivers in this set. Velasco back to pass, pressured from behind. Will he get rid of it? No! And that could be a fumble. It's ruled an incomplete pass. And they said he was throwing it, but, Kellogg is a little bit unhappy there, Jason. What did you think? Was that the tuck rule?
Yeah, I think what I thought was interesting, it looked like he looked all the way behind him to see if he was okay to run or not, and kind of took his attention away from what was happening. Boy, that's nice for Moscow that was ruled an incomplete pass.
That was a close call there. You're right. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Ball in the 14. Valesco over the middle. It's caught! Touchdown, Moscow! The Bears are on the board for the first time this season.
And Coach Bafis is saying, okay, on to the next play. He's telling his guys, we're going to go for 2 here, given the down distance and situation. Obviously, you're going to have as many points on every possession as possible. So let's go out there and get 2 points on this possession and see what happens on the kickoff. Nice job. We talked about it at halftime. Offense, defense, special teams needed to rise to the occasion. And just on cue, they did it.
2 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And now Valesco has 5 receivers to work with once again. Valesco takes the snap, throws it to the far side of the field, and boy, oh boy, was that a hit. That was, once again, number 15, Colby Luna with a big defensive stop, so the 2-point conversion fails. But hey, Moscow's just, they've got some points on the board, and they've got some life in them.
Yeah, and that's the momentum they're hoping to carry into the special teams and back on defense. Kellogg has kind of fizzled around as far as their offensive stuff, so if they could keep that going, which is easier said to do from way up here, that's for sure. But definitely want to just keep on keeping on if you're Moscow with a nice special teams play. Last time they pooched short to a different player than we're normally talking about, and that young man fumbled because of ripping a strip. So you might see something similar to that from Teagan, the kicker.
And boy, can we just talk about the poise of that backup quarterback who's come into the game. Number 19, Noah Valesco, leading the drive down the field and connecting on a solid strike across the middle.
Yeah, and really just kind of firing everybody up. And with Taylor just going in there that 1 or 2 plays on his own part. So nice job of just kind of staying seamless here. Everybody has to keep pulling in the same direction. Nice job by Valesco, though, getting that first touchdown. And maybe that is off their back now, and off they go.
Do we see an onside kick here?
No, but I do think you're going to see that pooch play right here in the middle. There's this first wave. I'm going to try and get it on screen. There's those guys on the front line, and then there's kind of that spot, that 15, 20-yard spot in between them. I think you're going to want to kick it just short of that, and that young man in the middle is backing up a little farther. So you're not really an onside. You're just hoping to kill the offense.
And it looks like they're going to send it as deep as they can here inside the 20. And boy, oh boy, this could be gone. It's number 7, Ramsey Reno. He's going to take it to the barn. Touchdown, Wildcats. Talk about a response there. Immediately putting 6 on the board.
Yeah, and we talked about earlier that it's important for Kellogg to get those other names injected into the offense, injected into the defense, injected in special teams. And that time the Luna kids didn't have anything to do with it, and it was a quick 6. And Purple gets the quick touchdown.
Well, you mentioned it earlier in this game. The depth that these Wildcats have is what makes them a threat big time, especially now at the 2A level as they look forward this season.
Yeah, they've already played. We mentioned that before. They've already played their guys that they've played last year, Orofino, St. Mary's, Grangeville, beat up on them, and Priest River, who came down also. So it's going to be one of those where they're going to need to keep themselves healthy and keep an eye on what's going on in the South.
So 34-6 after that kickoff return for a touchdown. And now they're trying for the 2-point conversion to make this a 30-point lead. 4 receivers in the set here, pistol formation. Luna back to pass, looks far side, caught by his brother once again. The 2-point conversion is good, and that makes it 36-6, a 30-point lead, just like that for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and pretty quickly all that momentum and crowd noise went away because Nothing kills that like a kickoff return.
Well, that's just what you'd expect from a team that has bigger aspirations, just like these Kellogg Wildcats do. The second another team seems like they have the opportunity to come back into the game, they snuff it out quick. And that's exactly what they did there. Big time props to the return man, number 7, Ramsey Reno, the junior wide receiver, running back, and defensive back, standing at 5'10", 175. And boy, did he use all that frame to get to the end zone. Bouncing off one tackler, and he was gone. And then props to the return team for the excellent block, and they were able to get there. Maybe a misplaced kick a little bit there from Moscow. You know, we could argue they were going to try to go for the pooch kick, but nonetheless, that's 8 points right there.
Yeah, and so now it's going to be Moscow's turn to grab back that momentum. And, of course, Kellogg going to show their moxie with Luna kicking here. We've already seen him drop one in the end zone with a touchback. I would probably think if he could do it, he's going to want to do it here again.
So ready to kick once again for the Wildcats. Number 15, Colby Luna, back deep to receive for the Bears. It looks like that is number 5, Michael Kiblin. Well, this time they're going to kick it to the near side of the field, inside the 20. And that was number 25 from Moscow, Sam Young. And he's brought down just inside the 30-yard line.
Nice return, better field position than a touchback for Moscow. Now it's going to be important for them to keep that momentum going forward and try and work on what they need to do as far as their season and their guys, as we see a number of players kind of jogging away from Kellogg with some cramps. It's hot.
It is hot. Yeah, we're certainly feeling it in the booth here.
That's right. It's hot and muggy up here. I can't imagine what it's like down there.
Especially in all that padding and gear. So in again at quarterback, number 19, Noah Valesco, who he did a really good job on that last drive, connecting with about a 15-yard touchdown strike across the middle. And we'll see what he's able to do here. Trips to the bottom of your screen here for the Bears. Valesco takes the snap and looks that way, and he's hit immediately. Ball comes loose. We'll see where this goes. It looks like the Bears were able to cover up and grab the ball.
Yeah, just that time it was ruled a fumble, but Moscow was able to jump right on it. Now the offensive line a little frustrated. Let's get back up here. We got to get some momentum going. There's not much left of the third quarter here with 1 minute and 34 seconds left.
5 wide receivers in the set here as it is now 2nd and 20. Valesco rolls right, has to get rid of it quickly. And that looked like it was almost intercepted, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not a math guy, but there were 2 camo jerseys and 4 purple jerseys. That's not good on the Moscow side of things. But he was kind of flushed, had to get outside, trying to make some things happen. Because they had momentum, because they went pretty quick, things went their way last time, and he kind of forced the issue that time.
3rd and 20 now. Ball is spotted at the 20-yard line. So they've got to get to about the 40 for a first down here. 5 receivers in the set. Potentially a last gasp here from the Bears. 3 down linemen from the Wildcats, and pressure coming up the middle. He's got to roll to his right, Valesco, and it's a short catch, but it's going to be a loss of yard, it is a gain of yards there, but it's going to be 4th and long.
Yeah, just about the mark of the original first down. I would imagine they're going to punt in this situation. Of course, I'm cheating because I see the quarterback running away.
That's fair. 4th and 11 here as coming on for the Bears is number 22, Caden Teagan, set to punt it away.
A little bit of personnel miscommunication here as we see a couple people run on.
That is number 11, Alex Thrall, and number 70, Jamison Griffin. And, you know, Jason, this is something that happens often early in the season is sometimes just miscommunication and people not where they're supposed to be. And the ball is the bad snap, and Teagan is hammered inside the 10-yard line. And that is going to be a fresh set of downs for the Wildcats inside the Moscow 10.
Well, and Teagan tried to play it the right way. He just tried to get down on the ball rather than try and make something happen, try and pick it up and run around with it or try and get a punt off. And that's where, especially in both their situations, Kellogg already has momentum, but Moscow's hoping to get some momentum because they play a Washington team, because they play Clarkston, who hasn't been through the first-time jetters, what's your kickoff formation, who's supposed to be on this play. They might be able to sting Clarkston with a few things simply because Clarkston should have the same problems next week.
So once again, we're already looking at 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
So now it's Kellogg's turn to run somebody in, and then Moscow matches by running somebody in. A little bit of substitution problems.
Well, that's just what we do here early in the season. And it is incomplete, and a flag goes down. So we'll see what the call is here. Could be, it looks like it was offensive pass interference here. And the receiver, the intended target, is down with some cramps right now. So,
well, of course, if it's offensive PI, he's going to say, oops. Oh, it was my leg. I didn't mean to.
I remember those days. You're not fooling me, Meredith. So that will be a penalty against the Wildcats. And we'll see where this backs them up to.
A little bit of redirection. Coach Bafa's getting the call from the officials. What happens about this? How about this situation? Wasn't really a timeout. You saw some players run to the sideline thinking it was a timeout or maybe the end of the quarter, but really it was just a clarification from coach to official.
We'll see where this sets them up here. First and 10 now. Ball at the 10, but essentially still 1st and goal. So it really backed them up only 5 yards. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers in this set, and a pistol formation for the Wildcats. Luna fires it over to his brother. That was Luna once again, and it's incomplete. Excellent coverage there from the Bears in the end zone.
That was excellent coverage. He showed up late, looked like he'd gotten beat, but he was able to get his behind over there and make things happen. That was number 5, Michael Kiblin, who did a nice job of responding and just poking that ball away.
So 2nd and goal. 4 receivers in the set this time. Luna looking from side to side. Moscow with 2 outside linebackers, 3 down linemen. Luna back to pass, looking, throws it corner of the end zone, and that's a touchdown. That was once again at number 11 for the Wildcats. Varick Meredith, he's getting his name on the calling card. And another 6 points.
Nice job, Meredith, running right off the screen right there in this nice, crowded, cozy press box where you get half the press box in the screen at times.
42-6, just like that.
Oh, we're going to get another kick here.
And we've got it looks like the kicking team is coming out, which means one of the Luna brothers will be attempting here.
Too bad the flag wasn't still up. That'd be a beautiful shot.
That's right. So set to kick. That is not one of the Luna brothers. That is number 60. And it's a fake. Luna rolling to the right side here. Is rolling back across the formation. Throws it to the middle of the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is good. Varick Meredith, once again, he has already got the touchdown. He may get the 2 while he's at it.
Little sandlot football there. Oh, who's running the camera?
Yeah, seriously, we need a new one.
Oh, shoot.
By the way, you can apply for a camera position here in District 2 at IdahoSports.com and replace Jason.
Oh, yeah.
But nonetheless, interesting 2-point conversion there. 44-6 to score now.
Well, and I don't think any of that's to rub anything in anybody's face. That's getting them ready for down the road. Okay, a little trickeration here, a little trickeration there. Getting some other guys in there. Hey, you go stand right here. try and block somebody when I pop up and run around. And then they take what was a design play and turn it into backyard football, and then pretty soon it's a touchdown over the middle, kind of like Thanksgiving or something.
Well, on top of that, it didn't look like that kick was going anywhere. If it was a kick, that is, right. As the rush was in there immediately. So maybe that was Luna making something out of nothing. Who knows? Nonetheless, 44-6 the score. And now Moscow's back and set to return the kick. Back deep to receive for the Bears is number 5. That's Michael Kiblin. At least that's who returned it last time. And then set to send it deep for the Wildcats in number 15, Colby Luna. He's done a good job thus far tonight, sending it back inside the 5. He's got a touchback on the night as well. Seven seconds left here in the third quarter. And Luna sends it deep inside the 5, and it's picked up at the 2. Kiblin looking for some space here. He finds some, gets out to the 30, and loses the football. But it went out of bounds, and it looks like Moscow will hang on to it. And that is the end of quarter number 3. Folks, we've played 3. Our score in Moscow, Idaho here in District 2, Kellogg 44, Moscow 6. We'll be right back after these messages.
It's time to 1938.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to quarter number 4 here in Moscow, Idaho, as the Kellogg Wildcats lead 44-6. Now, Jason, it's been all Wildcats for the most part tonight. What are we looking for here in the fourth quarter as these teams get set to go?
I think Moscow needs to stay with their new identity of just kind of throwing the ball around the yard here with Velasco. And Kellogg's going to want to keep them at bay and maybe inject a couple of young guys in just to kind of keep things fresh and get their young guys experience. Kind of like that right there. Moscow just kind of slinging it around. It's a modified run play. If you're a Mike Leach fan, that's just a run. Even though it looks like a pass and it goes down in the book as a pass, it's somebody new. It's kind of getting the ball to the edge. You're getting isolation of a running back and a linebacker. And I like the play call here.
Well, there's a name I haven't heard in a while, Mike Leach. How's he doing down in Mississippi State and SEC country?
Not quite the splash as he had in Pullman. I like Mike Leach. It's fun to talk to and fun to watch, and no matter what the score is, he's either out of it or in it.
Right, that's very true. Well, I remember his first season down in Mississippi State. They shocked the world and defeated the defending champion LSU Tigers. But, an incomplete pass there. The intended target was Toby Fry for the Bears. It looked like they had an open target. That was for Velasco. But back to Leach. They defeated LSU at Death Valley on his first year there, and I thought, oh boy, are we about to see WSU with a little bit more athleticism down in the SEC? And like you said, it hasn't really turned out that way.
I think it's just so tough to be ultra competitive in the SEC. So even when you're 8-3 or 9-3, it looks like a bad season. But by most standards, that would be great. A little bit like that play call right there, a great play call, but it just didn't connect quite the way that they had designed it. There's one for you.
And that is a nice slant route there across the middle to number 5, Michael Kiblin, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and Velasco has that presence and time to step into the pass, put a little zip in it, and now all of a sudden, again, they got that momentum going, and they're really getting some confidence.
So 1st and 10 now. Ball's going to be spotted at the 46-yard line, heading towards midfield. 1st and 10. 4 receivers in the set now. Velasco takes the snap, looking, throws it to the far side of the field. That's caught. It's a nice hook route there. And that was number 29, Connor Isaacson, who gets the first down.
Well, and awesome for Moscow, frustrating for Kellogg. Kellogg has a couple of fresh jerseys in there, and you got to get those younger guys in there so that way they have the experience for either future years or this year when you need it.
1st and 10 now. Valesco looking, throws it across the middle, and it's incomplete. That would have been Toby Fry on the reception, but he probably heard some footsteps on that one.
Well, yeah, and there was going to be quite a bit of thunder right there in the middle with the linebacker just going to be right in his face in just a second. So that would have been a tough play no matter who you were.
So 2nd and 10 now. Ball's on the 39-yard line in Wildcat territory. And, this Valesco has shown something here for the Bears. They've been able to move the ball up and down the field a couple of times now. Not bad for the young sophomore.
Well, and a little bit more pace to the play. We talked about how long they were taking in the huddles. Now they've kind of stepped it up and sped it up.
Valesco, a quick bullet, and it's right through the hands of number 5, Michael Kiblin. But that was a good pass there from Valesco.
Yeah, and those are tough ones. As a guy who really likes to pass plays as well, when you have that triangle of defenders, as soon as you catch it, you're going to be taking some punishment. And it doesn't excuse any kind of drop or whatever there, but it's just pretty tough to catch with a lot of traffic around you.
It's going to be 3rd and 10 now. Valesco with 5 receivers in the set. Back to pass, looking, surveys the field, rolling to his right. He's got a target there. That's caught by Kiblin this time. Stiff arms the defender. He's still going, fighting his way towards that first down marker. It's going to be close.
Well, I think Kellogg has kind of rotated their defensive line a little bit, but offensive line from Moscow doing much better job of keeping Valesco relaxed and calm and upright.
And Michael Kiblin immediately goes to the sideline with a cramp. And tonight's game brought to you by Gatorade. No, I'm kidding. Not yet. 5 receivers in the set this time. And it's a high pass, and it's caught by the second receiver. Tip drill this time works out for the Bears. And that was number 29, Connor Isaacson. Good presence of mind there.
Yeah, and you make those routes so that way it's easier on the quarterback, and then all of a sudden you get a nice little tip drill to the offense like you just mentioned.
Going to be 5 receivers in the set once again here. Valesco in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back, looking to the left side, and that could have been pass interference there. And it is. The ref brings the flag out, and that's going to be a move in the chain play there for the Bears.
Yeah, and definitely a little early. It looked like as the ball was there, his arms were already wrapped up, and pretty hard to catch it when you don't have any arms about it.
Listen, I appreciate what the students are doing here, saying you can't do that, but when you're down 44-6, that's just me.
But how about Moscow here, kind of changing up the play calls, getting the offense in a little bit different situation, doing a quarterback swap, and again, interchange, because when one had to step out, the other stepped right back in, and it was seamless.
So it's going to be 1st and goal now. Ball spotted at the, the scoreboard hasn't been updated yet, but it's the 8-yard line, we'll call it, from this vantage point. And they throw a quick screen pass out to the far side. The bubble screen. Is that a touchdown? No, the ref says that he's still in bounds, and it's close. They're inside the 5.
No matter how many offensive players from Moscow had their arms up, it wasn't a touchdown.
They almost faked me out. I'm glad I didn't go with it. So it's at the 1-yard line, knocking on the door.
Is it going to be Qualls up the middle here? Little power run play. We haven't seen the fullback blast up the middle yet.
Oh, they brought in the heavy boys here for this one. 1st and goal. You're right. They faked it to Qualls, and they probably should have just given it to him there, as that play did not go the right direction. Valesco sacked for a loss of about 5.
There seems to be a conversation between the two of them, and I'm not sure that was a play design or a mix-up. We see some thigh slapping and some hand gestures, all appropriate, of course, but that's not what Moscow was hoping for when you're that close to the end zone. Now all of a sudden you're 10 yards away.
So they're knocked back all the way to the 9-yard line, as you mentioned there. 2nd and goal, we'll call it, as the two teams go to the sidelines here for a timeout.
Well, and this is also, I think, where Kellogg starts to, get their guys motivated. Don't give them anything. I don't care if you're a sub or not. Let's make sure we keep it as close to 0 as possible.
So, Jason, let's talk about where we're at next week. Next week we're down in Lewiston, covering the Lewiston Bengals versus Capital. And to those of you listening at home, we had them last year in the playoffs where Capital came up and defeated the Lewiston Bengals. And this was a Lewiston team that I believe at the time was 11-1 when we went into that game. So that was an impressive win from Capital. They're hoping to do more of the same here this time around. And as you said, they're hungry for a win.
Yeah, and Lewiston gets better every year. We've seen him. Coach Pancari and his crew doing a nice job every year, every week, getting better and better. So they're both looking for their first win. Lewiston lost today to a Utah team. Capital lost Thursday to Bishop Kelly from the south. And so hopefully for Lewiston, that long bus trip can maybe knock some wind out of Capital and you get a little revenge. If you're a Capital fan, obviously you're thinking, well, maybe if you change the scenery, go back to where you got a good win, you get another one. So, and we just already mentioned that both these teams will be taking on Washington teams, so that way maybe they can either get momentum or keep momentum depending on what they need.
And a deep throw into the corner. It's caught. Touchdown, Moscow. Another dime thrown by the backup quarterback. That is number 19 from the Bears. Number 19, Noah Valesco, his second touchdown of the night, both in the second half.
And is that to Kiblin again, number 5?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Well, yeah, especially now that his camo jersey is so dirty. But nice job, nice ball placement, excellent amount of time from that offensive line. No pressure in his face, all the kind of time that he needed.
That does look like Kiblin was the one who made the grab. Kiblin's had a couple of plays here as wide receiver for the Bears. And now it's 44-12, trying to get the 2-point conversion here. It's a quick slant, batted away. So the 2-point conversion fails, and that's going to make the score 44-12 here in Moscow. But nonetheless, Jason, some stuff for the Bears here to hang their hat on, as they've had a couple of positive drives under the helm of Valesco.
Yeah, if you look at the box score on Saturday, it's going to be super frustrating if you're a Moscow fan. But when you've been here, you've watched the game, you went to IdahoSports.com and saw the chunks that we've really highlighted, they're heading in the right direction. Coach Bafus and his crew, just as I knew from the beginning, heading in the right direction. You can see him telling Kiblin, nice job. You're going to get another one here pretty soon, maybe next week, maybe tonight. But definitely getting things turned in the right direction and getting some momentum where guys are working on offense, defense, and special teams. And because you play a team that you already beat last year with whatever struggles they had last year, should really get them going this year for what's going on.
7 minutes, 56 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, 44-12 the score. And, folks, we just want to remind you here at IdahoSports.com that Game Night on the Palouse is presented by P1FCU. Brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. We should add Gatorade on as a sponsor with all the cramps we've been seeing tonight.
That's right, Paul. Get to it. You know, Kellogg's got an interesting kick return here. They're counting guys and trying to put them in position. I think they're a little worried that Moscow might try a little bit of an onside here, but I'm not sure that's going to be the case. It'd be interesting to see if Moscow kicks it back to number 7 from was it number 7 from Kellogg that just ran it back for a touchdown?
That's right, number 7. His name is in this roster that I've got here, and it is number 7, Ramsey Reno, the junior, who returned it for 6. And, hey, what do you know? They go to Reno.
Bet you can't do it
but
twice.
His teammate took it from him. He says, I want to try it too, and he gets about to midfield, to the 42-yard line to be precise, and we've got a little bit of a scuffle back there. That was number 22 on the return, Dayton Bauer. He said, hey, I never get the chance to run the ball, so I'm taking this kickoff. And we've got a little bit of a cramp here on the field. So we'll take a moment to once again go back to thanking our sponsors for tonight's game. We'll thank our power booster for the Moscow Bears. That's Shorts Funeral Chapel. And then make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just the low, low price of $9.95. Just click the button in the top right corner. And hey,
for the price of a gallon of gas, you could
okay, well, with this bad economy, maybe it's not a low, low price. But you know what? Make the memory last a lifetime.
That's right.
Okay, we're doing this for the kids.
That's right.
And
Sorry,
folks, we're
guys.
being dive-bombed by moths in the booth. Just so you know, it's exciting in the booth as well.
You thought that they needed to turn the light on a moment ago.
I can't read.
That's why they didn't.
Well, now we've got a bunch of night creatures attacking us. It's fun stuff. But as I was saying, our army of Idaho sports action photographers are covering games all over the state. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu. And hey, did you know you could win money on IdahoSports.com? Holy cow, it gets better, folks. Get your gridiron game picks in every week. Compete every week against other high school sports fans and the so-called experts, that's in quotations, at IdahoSports.com for free. Win weekly prizes and the chance to be crowned the regular season picks champion. It's okay if you start now because weekly winners get $25. And if you're the regular season grand champion, you win $100,000. No, I'm just kidding, just $100. But I mean, hey, that's nice, right? And $250 donation will be given in your name to your favorite Idaho high school program. Best of all, it's free to play. So again, head on over to IdahoSports.com and check that out. And we've got the player who's being taken off the field for cramps. And now we're returning to action here in Moscow, Idaho. Beautiful Moscow, Idaho. The weather has been gorgeous, albeit a little bit warm, which is why we're seeing so many players going down with cramps tonight. And it's just part of the early season here. Ooh. And a first down throw. That was to number 11, Varric Meredith, and you wouldn't expect him to drop that.
No, you wouldn't, and I really had my eyes on Teagan from Moscow. It looked like he had played it just perfectly and was going to be heading the other way. He just forgot to grab the ball.
Now, we got a lot of the starters still in for Kellogg at this point. That could just be a smaller roster size over there for Kellogg, or just wanting to work on some things, but duly noted, a lot of starters are in right now. Luna in the gun, takes the snap, drops back, being pressured. It's brought down from behind for a sack. Good job pressuring there from the Bears.
And I guess you could say that that's a legit sack then by the defense, simply because they are going against the ones. And they already had a JV game earlier today, so I wonder if maybe it's a quarter thing or who's fresh, who's ready, who's lined up. And like you said, you have plenty of things to work on this early in the season, but you don't want to see your number one quarterback get sacked.
That's right. 3rd and 15. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Luna back to pass. Being pressured, has to throw it deep down the middle, and it's incomplete, and there's some incidental contact there, so no pass interference, and I don't think that Meredith was going to get that one anyways. So, just like that, 3 and out for the Wildcats, and they're going to punt it away.
That's not what Meredith seems to be hand gesturing. He's saying, wait a minute, I've caught all those other ones today. I would have caught that one had they not tripped me, but I think you're right. They just feet got tangled up, and down he went, and off we go.
That's right, and if you ever question me again, Meredith, we're going to have problems. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't have my vantage point. 4th and 14, and gosh, these moths are coming at me, making it exciting to announce here in the booth. Back to punt is, we got some more personnel substitutions coming in. That is number 4, Jude Erlinson. And here's the punt from Luna. And this one is an end-over-end kick, and it's taken by number 5, Michael Kivlin. He had a touchdown on the last drive. He's going down the sideline. And that's a decent return there inside the 45-yard line.
You know, another thing that doesn't show up on the scoreboard is the fact that the kids from Moscow are fighting hard, and it's the fourth quarter. The fact that nice return, the guys are blocking, they're not holding, they're not clipping, and they're getting a nice effort play after effort play here by Moscow, and that's something that Coach Bafus program is known for, as well as something that they can really build on. Is if you guys are fighting in a positive way, actually trying to make things happen late in the game, let's take that into next week and off we go. So that's definitely going to bode well for Moscow in the future.
And Moscow will start this drive inside the 45-yard line, and they come out with Valesco in the gun, 5 receivers in the set. Valesco takes the snap, and that ball was tipped and batted away. Second and 10 now. .6:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. Ball's on the 43-yard line. Moscow trying to get some more points on the board here. 5 receivers in the set. And a very cushioned defensive look here from the Wildcats. And another incomplete pass here. And there is a flag thrown on the near side of the field here.
Looks like illegal motion by the offense. Looked like the receiver closest to us at the bottom of the screen might have been a little early on his movement.
It's going to be 3rd and 10 after the incomplete pass, or after the penalty is assessed. We'll see where they spot this. And never mind, it'll just stay right there. Five receivers in the look here. Valesco alone in the gun. And again, the defense is very cushioned. Not a defender within 8, 6, 7 yards. And there's a nice little wheel route, and what a hit delivered by number 15. That was on Colby Luna.
But the Moscow player got up with a lot of emotion. The crowd loved it simply because the fact that he hung on, took a licking, and he keeps on ticking simply because the fact that Toby Fry right there just getting right after it, saying, let's go.
So 1st and 10 now. And it's intercepted. That ball looks like it was caught by Reed Whatcott. And it's going the other way, Wildcats ball.
Yeah, and we mentioned that a number of times where it's those other guys from Kellogg making big plays too, and that's what's going to take them deep into the season where you have other guys. It's just not the Luna boys playing defense also. You get a tip like that, another dude just comes in and grabs it, and all of a sudden Kellogg's back on offense.
And just like that, the positive momentum is just sucked out of this stadium. 44-12 now, 5:54 and counting as the Wildcats have the sideline on the far side, and that's a first down and more, tackled at near midfield. That's a 27-yard gain there. Chains are on the move, and Kellogg is continuing to push the tempo here. And they take the snap. They throw this one out to Luna on the near side. Stiff arms past the defender. He's at the 30. Lowers the shoulder again. He's still going. He's inside the 5 and brought down just short of the goal line. What a powerful catch and run there by number 15, Colby Luna.
Well, and he directs himself right towards the defender to go ahead and make a big hit right there on him and try and get his extra yards after the contact.
So it's going to be 1st and goal, and they keep the tempo going as Luna keeps it himself and tried to drop it over the top there after a pump fake, but it's no good. So that's going to be second and goal now. 5 minutes flat left in the game here. 2nd and goal. Pistol set here, 3 receivers in the set, 1 tight end on the near side, and 1 back in the backfield. That looks like it's number 21, Coulter Wood. And they take the snap. Looking, Luna, he's got plenty of time, and it's knocked away. Good coverage there from the Bears.
Well, and this is where Coach Bafus' defensive coach's staff is thinking, okay, let's bow up here, let's make a stand, and let's have a couple things that we can hang our hat on as well.
3rd and goal. Of course, you got to wonder if if the Wildcats will just go for it at this point with being this close. 4 receivers in the set, 3 receivers, 1 tight end. Luna takes the snap, looking, throws it to the corner. Touchdown. Varick Meredith, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And that's 50 points for the Wildcats.
Touchdown, Kellogg, number 11, Meredith.
Kellogg doing Kellogg things. We've seen that all night.
Yep, Kellogg had 50 points twice on the season last season, and they strike 1 50-point game onto the season total this year.
Well, and they bring the kicking block back out.
4:46 left in this game as they get ready to kick, and they're going to bring number 15, and that is Colby Luna. Who else? He missed his earlier attempt, and he's hoping for some redemption here. Kick is up and no good. So like I said, maybe we just keep it for kickoffs.
Well, and you can see why they're going to want to work on those things in a game situation, because they clearly have something to work on.
Right.
So even though they've been clicking and all of that, it's definitely one of those where Coach Davidian's going to be thinking, okay, this special teams after the fact. You don't want to get stung by something, because an 11-man team normally doesn't go for 2 every time. Of course, if you're effective, why wouldn't you? But you don't normally see that. So,
well, I got to tell you, it's starting to get cooler out just about now, finally, after it's been pretty stuffy all game. And now the teams are switching sides because, well, it's still early in the season. We've all been there.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but we've done that a couple of times as my teams when it wasn't the first game of the year. Like, oh, wait a minute. Come on, guys. Come on. I know we're all excited, but let's remember.
So, Jason, how are things looking for the Oklahoma Sooners this year? Is the defense going to finally figure it out?
I think so. And we have Brent Venables, a head coach that is defensive-minded, just like Bob Stoops, which was our head coach when we won our last national championship. So, yeah, we're heading in the right direction.
Thank you. The Bears in Kidland.
And y'all don't have that quarterback anymore that we were talking about.
No. Dylan Gabriel this time is our new guy.
We'll have to keep an eye on the Oklahoma Sooners. Football is making the roundabout across the country, and Kiblin with a stiff arm and throws the defender to the ground. Michael Kiblin has really brought it this game. He's got a touchdown to his name, and making plays like that, that'll get the coaches noticed.
Yes, exactly. And again, those are the kind of plays that coach is going to be thinking, okay, we got to keep building on those things in this direction. And, first games as a staff, who's going to stand where and who's going to do what is always going to be a process. So
4:37 left in the game. 1st and 10, ball on the 37-yard line after a solid return there from Michael Kiblin. Kiblin, the senior wide receiver and defensive back. Blitz coming from the safety spot for the Wildcats. Valesco being pressured, gets rid of it, and that is a solid gain of 5 yards on the far side of the field. Velasco showing good presence of mind in the pocket to get away from pressure.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen him do really well when he had all the time he needed. This time he gets rushed and flushed, and he still gets the ball where it's supposed to be, and they pick up a nice gain. So definitely something that they're putting together here late in the game for that young man as they head towards Clarkston next week.
Now closing in on the 4-minute mark here in the game. 50-12 the score, 2nd and 4, ball on the 43-yard line. Velasco in the pistol once again, motion from left to right. He's rolling to his right. It's an out route, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Toby Fry.
I think Fry would like to have that one back because that was a well-delivered ball again. He was going to take a little bit of a licking, but we've seen him make moves after contact, so I think he wanted that one. But Velasco, again, delivers the ball nicely.
3rd and 5, we'll call it. 3:49 to go here. And what could be the last gasp from Moscow on the night.
Well, I would imagine that Coach Bafus, when it comes time to watch film as a team, only going to focus on the second half. We've seen so much better play, more effort from the Bears this time. They've definitely kind of figured things out. Hasn't always clicked, but they're definitely working harder and working together.
And there's Toby Fry, catches this one for a first down. So he made up for the last drop.
Right on cue. I mean, you make mistakes, but you got to try and correct them, and that was an excellent job by that guy. And that's the kind of stuff that Coach Bafus is looking for.
So fresh set of downs here for the Bears as they keep the ball moving. They're past midfield. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line right at the top of that Bear paw print. 3 receivers. Oh, I was right. 4 receivers. Trips to the bottom side. Velasco rolls right and delivers it behind his intended target. That was Toby Fry. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, Coach Davidian, if you're going to have to make a 4-hour bus ride home after this game, that's the kind of stuff you want to be thinking about heading back home, putting together film on a Saturday. Okay, how are we going to keep things fresh, and how are we going to get our guys moved around, and who needs to get a little bit of spell time as far as some substitutions, as we see some new faces out here in the secondary and the defensive line. Just because you got to make sure all your guys are 100% in November.
Yeah, it's a long campaign for all these teams across the state of Idaho here, and a lot of nicks along the way will happen. So 1st and 10, ball spot at the 49. Velasco back to pass. And it's incomplete. It was over the top and into heavy coverage there. A little kind of positive that that's all it was the incompletion.
Yeah. That being said, that one looked a little bit more like he was trying to place it just properly where it needed to be instead of kind of setting his feet and driving it to where he wanted it.
So it's going to be, after the incompletion, we're looking at 3rd and 10, ball on the 49, 3:08 to go. This game taking its time just because both teams are throwing the ball around. Pistol formation here, 4 receivers in the set. Velasco looking, vertical route there. It's tipped up into the air, and it's intercepted by the Wildcats off the tip drill. And just unfortunate there that the ball bounced off the receiver's hands and into the air.
And how about the defensive lineman there, Tom O'Neill, coming from his spot and picking it up. I was just about ready to highlight the fact that the Moscow offensive line had been doing so well, keeping all the pressure away from Velasco, doing a better and better job. But unfortunately, that ball gets ricocheted up and interception time, and we'll see if Kellogg comes in with some fresh faces to see if they can't move the ball around.
And we'll see here. It looks like we do have some fresh faces there. Trying to see who's taking the snaps here for their offense. It looks like it could be the other Luna.
Yeah,
nope, just
you got
kidding.
guys coming in, guys going out, half in.
So that's number 20, Butch Kipner, excuse me, that's for Moscow, Andrew Lewis, who has a quick throw out to the outside. It's incomplete. The intended target was Reed Whatcott. And that was an incomplete pass. There is a flag on the ground.
Well, and it can be super frustrating as a coaching staff from Kellogg that that this is what kind of happened on this possession, but it also shows why you got to keep working on it and get this thing going forward. Coach Davidian in his third year, looks like he's got the pieces for this year right where he wants them. Okay, so how do I make sure that next year looks just like this one? And so these are the moments you got to keep building for.
So after the 5-yard penalty, it's going to be 1st and 15. And ball spotted at the 30-yard line. And they're going to hand this one right up the middle. A run. Yes, you heard it, folks. A run from the Wildcats. That was number 21, Coulter Wood, on the carry.
I called it. I was just 4 quarters short.
There we go.
Early, I guess.
So 2nd and 11, we'll call it. Ball on the 34-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go here as we head towards that 2-minute warning that doesn't exist because it's high school. And the Wildcats are content to take their time and bring on the subs and getting everybody in position. And this is the second team, so to be expected. It looks like we got a new quarterback there. It's number 3, Reed Whatcott. Senior. Looking, steps up into the pocket. He's going to keep it himself. And he just lowers the shoulder and gets what he can. And that's going to be a pickup of about 6. So a solid run there, and that'll bring up 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, nice job by him. Kind of speeding us back up as far as Kellogg's offense is concerned. Looks a little bit more like they're back on cue and doing what they need to do.
So 3rd and 3, we'll call it. 3rd and 3. Now at the 1.5-minute mark here. Ball's on the 42. Whatcott still in at quarterback. 3 receivers in the set. And they're going to pitch it to the left side. And he tries to cut it up the middle, but he runs into the teeth of that Moscow defense. And he's brought down for a very short gain, if any, and it's going to be 4th.
It's a nice job by Moscow. Again, just fighting to the very end, rallying up, everybody showing up, and thought for a second there it was a loose ball on the ground.
Well, what we do know is if you don't fight towards the end, coaches notice that, and then it's going to be some suicides come Monday.
Yeah.
4th and about 3. And they're going to bring on the. Nope. Doesn't look like they're going to punt it. About 30 seconds left as they let the clock roll. 4th and 4. Whatcott takes the snap. Looking. He's going to try to keep it himself. Throws it over the middle. It's incomplete. And that's going to be a turnover on downs, and Moscow will take over with 26 seconds left. 1st and 10, ball on the 42-yard line.
Well, even though it's really late in the game, that's still a win for the Moscow defense. That they did get a turnover on downs, something they had struggled with earlier. And so, again, guys getting better every play, every week, every series, especially as this long season for Moscow. Their most important games are at the end of the season, so you have plenty of time to try and learn and figure things out. Kellogg, however, has important games in the middle of their season, league games in the middle of their season, so they have less time to figure things out.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 42. Valesco throws it over the top, and it's incomplete, intended for Michael Kiblin.
Nice job of Velasco there, just kind of rallying around, running around, trying to make something happen.
19 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Ball is on the 42-yard line. 50-12 our score. Valesco throws it to the far side. It's caught, and he's spun down at around the 30-yard line. Solid pick up there. That was Isaacson on the catch. And that will likely end the game here. Nope, there's a timeout, because why not? As we have 7 seconds left in the game. So they likely want to draw up one more play here, get some in-game practice with a situation with 7 seconds on the clock, see if they can't drive up a scoring play.
Yeah, especially when you think, you got to get better every chance you can, and right now it's a way to scrimmage against some other players, and what the heck, why not? You got that timeout, you don't get to use it next week.
That's right. So, folks, once again, thanks for tuning into this IdahoSports.com GameCast. This game is brought to you is a production of Game Night on the Palouse, presented by P1FCU. Brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. This could be the last play right here, folks. Valesco running for his life, throws it over the top, and it's incomplete. So it's not the last play. 2 seconds left. We've got time for one more. Watch there be another after this.
Yeah, you're just worried because all the moths are coming after you.
No, that's right. I'm not really a bug guy myself. Creatures of the night, no thanks. Although as a ginger, not a fan of the sunlight either. So
you're really stuck.
It's a lose-lose situation. Here we go, folks. Last play of the night. Moscow Bears come in the pistol. Pressure being shown by the Wildcats. They bring 4. Valesco rolls right, throws it, and it is incomplete. The intended target was Toby Fry, and that is the end of the ball game. Folks, our final score in this one, the Kellogg Wildcats 50, the Moscow Bears 12. We'll be back after these brief messages. You're listening to IdahoSports.com. So what do you want to do? Just a quick player of the game and call it?
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
True, but quarterback is definitely better.
You bet. Well, we'll just call it the quarterback and call it good. Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Garrison Hardy for IdahoSports.com, and Jason and I, my co-host, we're happy to bring you our opening broadcast here in District 2. And Jason, boy, oh boy, what a statement win for the Kellogg Wildcats.
Yeah, they were just as we thought they'd be, and boy, they're going to be fun to watch weeks down the road.
That's right. And as is customary for those of you who have listened to our broadcasts in the past, we got to come up with our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Jason, why don't you take it away? We had a couple of good options for Kellogg.
We had some great options. That offensive line, I'm always going to put that plug in. They did an excellent job of keeping the quarterback upright, and the receivers did a nice job of catching, snagging, and scoring touchdowns. You can't pick 2, otherwise I'd pick the offensive line. But it's one of those situations where Ripley Luna, the quarterback for Kellogg, boy, he is something, and he can play, and he's out there directing traffic and coaching himself up there a couple of times with bad throws that he made, clapping his hands and kind of pointing back at himself. And so, both teams got a lot better as the game went on. Kellogg came right out firing on all cylinders. Moscow got much better as the game progressed, and they're going to be fun to watch as everything comes together and Coach Bafus and his crew get these guys in the direction they want to see. And again, their season is backloaded, so the last 2 weeks are the most important 2 weeks. So now they get to go to Washington, play Clarkston, or get to play a Washington team, and maybe flex some muscle that week. So Kellogg also gets to play against a Washington team, and they got things clicking right now, so they're probably hoping that they can just keep that rolling.
Well, that's right. The final score, again, of tonight's game, the Kellogg Wildcats 50, the Moscow Bears 12. We want to thank our host, the Moscow Bears, for allowing us a spot in this press box. And as always, For Jason Hanson, I'm Garrison Hardy. Thank you for tuning into this District 2 broadcast on IdahoSports.com. So long, everybody.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com.